A very good morning to everyone present. Welcome to the grand finale of Youth Power 2013-14 for Women. A woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture and transform. She is the cornerstone of every society, the cradle of every civilization. She is the power to be. As a note to women, Youth Power 2013-14 was dedicated to the cause of women by Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, Chairperson, Amity Group of Schools. And today, we are here to celebrate the spirit of womanhood at the grand finale of Youth Power 2013-14. We shall begin the day with the lighting of the auspicious lamp. May I now request Ms. Veera Sharma, Managing Editor of the Global Times, and our revered guest to join us on stage for the lamp lighting ceremony. Youth Power, through its 6-year-long journey, has created numerous social leaders, touched countless lives, and in the process, even ushered the change that we all want to see. Contestants, parents, mentors, countless people have been associated with the program in more roles than you can imagine. Youth Power 2013-14 takes this association a step forward. And before we take the final plunge, let's go back into time. On that note, I'd like to call upon Ms. Veera Sharma, Managing Editor of the Global Times, to take us through the year-long journey that our teams have been through before they made it to the finale. Let's hear it from Ms. Veera Sharma.
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And when the leader is a woman, the reality is a strong, progressive nation with empathy and compassion. A very good morning to everyone present today. It gives me immense pleasure to share that the Amity Group of Schools, under the leadership of its enigmatic leader, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, heralded the year 2013-14 as a year for women. The year saw all branches of Amity International Schools devoted to the cause of women, nurturing leaders who draw power from giving, and she inspired them to help others and motivated them to reach their fullest potential. As a woman, I feel extremely blessed to be part of this program that today has become a movement for a cause that's women. The Amity Group, under the dynamic leadership of its founder president Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan and inspirational guidance of chairperson Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, strongly believes that it is the moral responsibility of every educational institution to nurture social sensitivity in its students so as to ensure that the nation is secure in the hands of ethical leaders. It was with this vision that the Amity Group of Schools, under the guidance of our chairperson, chose to sensitize the youth to the social milieu, to be the change and bring change with the launch of the Youth Power program in 2008. December 16, 2012, the dignity of a woman was attacked. What followed was movement to uphold her dignity, in which the media played an important role. The power of media in awakening, educating and enlightening the people has been well recognized by all. Harnessing the potential and power of media, Amity Group launched its own newspaper, the Global Times, in the year 2008. This 12-page weekly broadsheet, the first of its kind, completely written by the children, for the children and of the children, registered with an RNI with a circulation of 40,000 copies within the Amity universe, is a pioneering initiative of our revered chairperson Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan to promote conscientious journalism by engaging the youth for betterment of society and nation building. The Youth Power program is one such initiative towards it. In the last 5 years, the Youth Power program, supported by young dynamic leaders, and incidentally most of them being women, as former Union Minister Gauta Sangma, mountaineering queen Santosh Yadav, Hollywood activist Monique Coleman, etc., and United Nations Information Center for India and Bhutan, has raised awareness over several issues ranging from bullying, fighting junk food, road rage, to the 8 Millennium Development Goals outlined by the United Nations. In the process, it has reached out to students across India, training and developing over 120 ethical leaders of tomorrow while sensitizing over 40,000 students through the peer leaders. The Youth Power Program 2013-14 has been a very special one, as it was declared as the Year of Women by our chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan. Under her inspirational leadership, all branches of Amity schools took up different issues relating to women as they spread awareness, sensitizing and educating people to be the change and bring change. Spread over 1 year, this YP journey comprises several intensive rounds which include introspection exercises, group discussions, experiential learning, sharing knowledge, etc. It has been a long road for the Youth Power contestants. As the journey draws to a close, it is time to revisit the road less traveled. The head start was to invite who want to make a difference through invite the students through an advertisement that was published in the Global Times in the July issue. The entries were evaluated through personal interviews that focused on parameters like reasoning for choosing the topic to work upon, contribution to the topic and the general attitude towards the subject, plan of action and team skills. One team from each school made it to the final, and we are proud to share that every team had both boys and girls for the cause women. 55% women suffer from anemia. Every 34 minutes a girl is raped in India. Startling facts and numerous other revelations were part of the second phase of YP, that's research strategy. This phase helped them in understanding social issues as they undertook both qualitative and quantitative research towards the goal. The research concluded with a creative article published in the Global Times that you hold today to create awareness on the chosen issue. Phase 3, Rally for the Cause. The focus was to create awareness. Young and old, men and women. Everyone joined the initiative to spread awareness as the movement garnered support and strength. Whether it was tapping the power of social media by creating Facebook pages, YouTube channels, etc., or reaching to a mass audience with the help of Nukkad Natak, flash mobs or rallies. The team went all out to rally for the chosen cause. The objective was to sensitize the target audience. Phase 4, Be the Change. The focus was implementing my ideas. From creating pepper spray for self-defense to securing admission of girl in Amity's wing for the less privileged girl child. The participants undertook one tangible, result-oriented, measurable, impacting activity that relating to the topic. The objective of this stage was to bring about the change, no matter how small. Phase 5, Charity Begins at Home. Here the focus was on the means and not the ends. The participants created a creative practical model to generate funds for the social initiative undertaken through innovative methods, so that there was no direct burden on the parents of the students and at the same time helped spreading awareness on the cause. Phase 6, Panel Discussion. The focus was to trigger an on-the-spot exchange of viewpoints with experts. This new round introduced this year saw the Youth Power team invite experts from diverse fields for a live discussion of the chosen topic. The panel discussion raised several questions answered by experts, sensitizing the youth towards the cause as well as motivating the young audience. It took 10 hours of lending service to an NGO relating to the cause for the young social activists to realize that there is more to it than meets the eye. Community service, yet another phase of the YP program, was indeed an eye-opener as they interacted with women on the other end at NGOs like Yeti, Prabhav, Empowerment India, Linus Club, etc. Exploring the technical creative skills in youth through a 59-second film on the issue is the next round of the program that we shall watch today. It aims to leave the audience sensitized with food for thought. Phase 10, Creative Communication. Here the focus is to use the medium beyond words. Sometimes action speaks louder than words. And today, as part of yet another round of the program, we shall watch the participants present different types of women through a 2-minute creative communication ranging from mediums as puppetry, shadow dancing, mime to musical play and dance drama, etc. The 10th and the last phase, the grand finale for which we will gather together here. The event today is a culmination of the YP journey where all the participants have shared their experience and learnings today. It also comprises interaction with judges from diverse fields, distinguished jury members and the audience, and one finalist team makes title for Youth Envoy 2013-14. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Now I hand over to Tom to proceed with the program.
Actions speak louder than words. and it's time that we let the actions of our youth power teams do all the talking. And on that note, I'd like to call on stage our first team for the day, Amity Sake. But being stereotyped in some roles isn't the only ordeal that Indian women go through. They are also subjected to heinous crimes like rape, molestation, eve-teasing, etc. It's about time that we give our women the respect they deserve. The YP team of Amity Sake has taken a step in this direction. Let's welcome on stage team leader Arushi Mehra and her team members Lakshita Handa, Aziz and Yashvardhan. Amity Sake, everyone.
Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki! Mother represents a woman, and a woman represents love that knows no barter. The best thermometer to the progress of a nation is its treatment of its women. So let us go again one more time. Bharat Mata Ki Jai! Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki! No Hindu can be a priest till he is married. Why? Because of the idea that a single man is only half a man and imperfect. The idea of perfect womanhood is a life lived with respect where she can voice her own opinions. And this was the underlying principle of our very campaign. The first step to any campaign is to know how to mobilize support. And so we met Mrs. Charu Wali Khanna, member of National Commission for Women, author and lawyer. In order to then acquire public opinion, a survey of sample size 300 was conducted. We then utilized Facebook in order to spread awareness amongst a wider cross-section of the society. To involve the followers in our campaign, we announced an online competition such as logo making and an artworks competition, Women Hold Up Half the Sky. An eve-teasing guide was also uploaded which informed the people the difference between sexual harassment and flirting and what sexual harassment actually is. This is our interview with Mrs. Charu Wali Khanna. These are the very well promised survey results. And this is the creation of our Facebook page, the logo making competition and Women Hold Up Half the Sky, in which we received 36 artworks. This is the eve-teasing guide. Then, a strategy of innovative communication was adopted to sensitize everyone. Starting from our school, we conducted a rally involving more than 500 students who were apprised of the various aspects of eve-teasing, helpline numbers, etc. In the primary vein, such as cloud activity and our women national leaders were carried out. A signature campaign was initiated on Founders Day that culminated with us receiving over 1,500 signatures. Various events such as Sports Day were also covered. Desktop wallpapers were changed to our logo and details of our campaign were displayed in various areas of the school. A major event in one of the most sensational malls of Delhi, Select City Walk, was held. A blame game activity was held in which people were asked to tag the model of a man, woman or society whomsoever they deemed responsible for eve-teasing, for which society was held responsible. A street play was performed and surveys were conducted all around the mall. In Delhi Hearts Women Festival, a street play was conducted and an oath-taking ceremony also took place which majorly impacted the people around. This is an article that covered the event which was published in Hindustan Times on 11th December 2013. Our initiative was also incorporated in competitions such as Breakout 13 and Ecom Forum, where all schools from Delhi NCR region participated. This is a sample of our brochure and pledge that was distributed on all occasions. So 300 people surveyed, 500 students participating in the rally, 1,500 signatures, 500 people witnessed the street play in Select City Walk and 700 in Delhi Heart. Mass awareness indeed. was held in the school. 3 eminent panelists, an NGO head, a social analyst, and the SHO of Saket region were invited. A question round was also held which created a wave of energy dedicated to our cause. The next objective was to reach the ears of those who had the ears of millions. For this purpose, we met the Chief Ministerial Candidate of BJP, Dr. Harsh Vardhan, Leader of Opposition Rajya Sabha, Mr. Arun Jaitley, and National Executive Member BJP, Mr. Nalin S. Kohli. We also met the then Law Minister, Mr. Somnath Bharti, and the Additional Solicitor General of India, Mrs. Indira Jaising. We then took our initiative across geographical borders as we met Malaysian dignitaries who visited our school and spoke about how respect is the foundation of the Indian culture. The student community was also targeted as French students visiting our school participated in our signature campaign and took an oath to freeze the teens. An eye-opener in the true sense was when we collaborated with the NGO Lioness Club and visited Ramanujan Senior Secondary School for Girls, where we met and interacted with more than 400 girls of the school. We held a skit, a pledge, a talk, and an interactive session and question round with a local police officer. We distributed Freeze the Teens bands and framed Freeze the Teens badges. We received a letter of acceptance and a letter authenticating our 10-hour community service with the NGO. Here is a video of the mesmerizing oath-taking ceremony. Between the police and public decreased, and hence a visit to the police station was organized for the girl students of class 11th, during which the reports of e-teasing were recorded and the functioning of the police station was demonstrated. The woman help desk was also shown. Then a Diwali stall lasting for 3 days was organized and a total of 2,000 rupees with the reduction of the raw materials were raised. As capital is needed in every endeavor, if this model were to be applied throughout the year during 6 main festivals, a minimum of 12,000 rupees could be generated. An area which called for change was a street connecting a government boys' school and a private school, in which several e-teasing cases took place on a daily basis. These are a few pictures of the street, and even though police patrolling was administered in documents, it wasn't executed. To bring about the desperate change, a letter of grievance was submitted to the SHO of Saket. After continuous follow-up, the SHO ensured responsible patrolling. Today, in one breath, let us resolve to remove this face of Indian women. नीति की जंजीरें खा गई है जंग, न्याय के मंदिर भी हो गए हैं भंग, चलूंगी मैं अकेले अगर कोई ना चले मेरे संग, बोलूंगी हल्ला आवाज दबंग, बेखौफ आजाद है जीना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे. Thank you. Freeze the teens. Now I would like to present our creative communication performance. We hope you enjoy it and we get our message across to you. Thank you.
From the womb to the tomb, I am shackled, but I will glisten like a pearl and make the night as bright as day. Our unique poetry in motion, Still I Rise, beautifully depicts that invincible essence of women which knows no subjugation. This phenomenal presentation is based solely on self-composed beatboxing rhythms without any accompanist or orchestra,
symbolizing the triumph of womanhood. Let us now witness this soul-stirring ode and tribute to women.
It's time now for the Q&A for Amity Sake.
Students, it was a wonderful presentation, and what is more commendable is that you stayed engaged with this issue over such a long period of time, which from the report I see culminated in the admission of a girl child. I'd like to know a little more about your personal interactions with this girl child. What did you find out that you did not know before?
Ma'am, in December we visited Ramanujam High School with the help of Lioness Club, which was the NGO we collaborated with. During our visit to Ramanujam High School, we interacted with the government school girls, and there was a local police officer who was also invited for the interaction, and there were several statements recorded of girls talking about how many of them were stalked, they were sent obscene messages, and when they reported, the police did not take proper action. So these are the kind of interactions we had with the girl child.
Also, I would like to share an experience. We all distinctly remember, I think, that after our visit to the school, we all were in the bus and there was some sort of really sad silence upon all of us, and we were sitting and just thinking, and after reaching school, we actually, for the first time, we spoke to each other, because for the first time we felt so close to the cause that it actually touched our hearts, and it was almost a very emotional moment for us.
Just a quick follow-up, yes, from one of the boys, because the girls, of course, are slightly closer to this issue. That's not to say that you are not closer, you have mothers, you have sisters. But tell me something personal that throughout the year that affected you the most on an individual personal level.
first of all, when we took up this cause, it was a great moment because at that time the cases going on in India were very bad, and mostly because after the visit to Ramanujan school, we saw how this is actually happening in our Indian society. We got a look and we were shocked that these people are of our age and they are facing these things. That was the moment that made us realize that we need to change this.
Ma'am, one more thing. Not only people of our age who are facing these problems, but also who are inflicting these problems upon other people. That was the thing that touched us the most. I mean, how can a child of 16 years of age go and just walk up to a girl and say stuff like that? That's what affected us that's what affected us very deeply, and that's why we were committed to this cause throughout it.
Thank you, Amity Sake.
There's just one more thing. I found your presentation absolutely wonderful, and the amount of work and hard work you put into this for such a long time.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now, there was just one thing, especially today when you came onto the stage and you were chanting Bharat Mata Ki Jai and so on, which is great. But after that, I got a slight sense that you are looking towards women from a gender deterministic perspective, which means that they should be protected because they are mothers and sisters and so on, daughters and so on. What is the room then for a woman as an individual, just a free-thinking person with not necessarily linked with any familial or any other kind of those gender linkages? What do you have to say about that?
Ma'am, we were talking about, we had started this cause by looking at a woman as a mother, because the closest woman to us is our mother. So there was this activity for class 1, the one which we displayed, cloud making activity. They were given a sentence and it stated that I love my mother because, and they had to finish that sentence. Well, our basic aim was to instill a feeling of pride within themselves related to their mother, so that if you don't respect your mother inside your home, you are not expected to go outside and respect someone else's mother, sister or daughter.
What if a woman is nobody's mother? Will you respect her then?
But she's someone's daughter and someone's sister.
It starts, our main aim was to start at home. So, for
This
example,
charity begins at home. So our basic aim was to start at our own homes, starting from instilling respect for anybody's sisters, anybody's mother, anybody's daughter. Because if you respect someone at your home, then only you go and respect someone outside your home.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I also completely agree with the fact that women should not be linked to any particular relation, as they are also independent entities. So yes, even though we need to talk about mothers and we need to talk about sisters, we also aim at the same time to help little girls and teenagers and women as individuals, and training sessions were held and talks were conducted. So even though what we felt was why we focused on the mother, the basic reason was that during one of the activities, a question was raised that how do you tell little children who are also a very big victims of eve teasing, how do you tell them that this is eve teasing and this is what happens and this is what happens, because they are very unaware of that. So what culminated from that thought was that because of the fact that they respect their own mother, they will come to know what disrespect actually means. And when we teach security and respect to women, we need to teach consent to boys, so that they also know. And since boys are psychologically proven, they are very close to their mothers, and that's why too.
Thank you so much. That shows a very well processed idea. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody, and respected chairperson of Amity School, Amita Jahanji, whom like all of you, I also look up to. And the very distinguished jury present over here, Samina ji and Veena, who is doing amazing work. I can see that. The principals of all the schools of different branches present here. And the highly talented group of youth power whom I just saw a glimpse of here on the stage. It's not a time for us to give speeches because we are truly humbled by the kind of wisdom, kind of experience which you bring to the table, despite the fact that you may have lived only probably one third of the kind of experience that we would have had in life. Yet the maturity that you display is really amazing and commendable. And I really want to commend Amity, the Youth Power, the Global Times for having drawn out this kind of a wisdom based on your practical experience, your day-to-day experience of trying to understand, not just in letter, but in spirit, what we mean by development, what we mean by inclusion, what we mean by, when we say gender equality, when we say no to gender discrimination, when we say no to gender inequality, what do we really mean by it? No matter what you read, it is, far more important to live it by experience on the basis of what you heard when you went out there in the field to do a project with the community, when you went to the slum, when you went to the school, to get a feel of it, to get a pulse of what we mean by these things. Sharing the global concern related to women, I'd like to just tell you that globally, not just in India, we are coming more and more, to the recognition that the Millennium Development Goals that we speak of, that we strive for, or any other development goals that we are looking towards, be it in the field of ending poverty, ending hunger, ending illiteracy, ending communicable diseases, improving our infant mortality rate, improving our maternal mortality rate, making sure that the type of inclusive growth that you dream of, it is possible. We realize increasingly that unless and until you focus on the issues related to girls, you focus on the issues related to women, it's very, very difficult to attain the balanced growth and development which any nation ultimately strives for. Last year, you would have seen that the entire issue of sexual violence, gender inequality, gender discrimination, it was so much in the fore, being debated at all forums. You would open the channel and all TV channels, would be debating about the same issues over and over again. Not only that, in a way I'm happy to share with you that increasingly this issue has become center stage of any political discourse also, to the extent that many of the manifestos of political parties, if you just scan it on the net, you'll find that they have a special section related to gender issues, which was probably not there earlier. So, the kind of discourse which started, from the street, which started from all of you in the school, in the college, today is in a position to really influence the governance agenda. Today it's in a position to influence the political agenda. And I would salute all of you individually for having made it possible. Because the credit ultimately goes to each one of you, who dream of creating, not just the change around you, but also dream of, bringing certain issues center stage, which you have actually done it by the merit, by the dint that you have shown, a glimpse of which I had around 4 years back, when I was here for one of the programs. And during the discussion with Amita ji, we generally discussed that, why not have an exclusive year on women's issues? And I'm so happy when Amita ji told me that you have to come here again because this time we dedicated the whole year on women's issues. And once again, I just got a glimpse of it and I'm not going to be able to, get more of it, but I'll definitely request Veera to be able to, send me the details which we can see and be proud of, that what we talk of in terms of governance agenda, what we talk of in terms of policies, in terms of legislations, you do it in terms of your own baby steps, your own action, which ultimately will carry us a long, long way in terms of nation's development. I'm also very happy that one of the, I was looking through your pamphlet, and I looked through the first group which gave me, a set of paper which carried something called sexual harassment. And, I was amazed that an act which has just recently been passed, sexual harassment for women at workplace, prevention and protection thereof. So you've discussed about that. So I'm amazed at the wisdom that you are, talking about legislations which earlier seemed to be preserved only of judiciary or probably the National Commission for Women. But today the fact that, students of such a tender age are talking of legislations. And, I would really encourage all of you to be as informed, to be as aware, and not only to be aware yourself, but to be taking along several other sections who probably do not have that kind of opportunity which you and me have to know about things, to learn about things. Because when I go around the country, throughout whether the Gram Panchayat level of Rajasthan or, Jammu and Kashmir or the Northeast, one thing which really strikes me is that there is a lot of difference in the opportunities which we have created around. Believe me, it's not a level playing field. And one thing which now I'm more and more getting convinced is that if we give similar opportunities to people all across in terms of good quality education, good quality healthcare, there would be no difference between, anybody living anywhere around in the country, in the smallest hamlet of the country, and those living in the metros. People like you and me today have opportunities, but let's think more and more for those people who do not have that opportunity, and let's do a bit in terms of creating that opportunity to make sure that the kind of, level playing field that we are looking at, it begins not only from home, between the brother and the sister, not only from a workplace, between me being able to create a level playing field for myself at my workplace, but it is important to look at that section of the community, that section of the region, that region which has not developed. So I would encourage once again, all of you as emerging global leaders, which I'm sure you are, as global leaders, to be able to, take on the greater challenges which are involved today in terms of ensuring inclusive growth. The greater challenges, believe me, has to begin from understanding the intersectionality of issues and gender issues. When you look at, it's very important to understand how important it is to take a life cycle approach. It is very important to see the interrelationship between the various sectors involved, be it health, be it life skill education, be it livelihood opportunity, be it, better skilling of women. They are all related to each other. So if we just address one dimension, on the way when I was coming here, I was speaking to Rahul, who's handling the Amitasha project, and I was really happy to see that in Amitasha, under Amitaji's leadership, you are, taking the same kind of approach of a 360-degree approach, where you are beginning the intervention with giving similar kind of good quality education, but also taking the girl forward in terms of giving her vocational education. And I was urging Rahul that what you do beyond it. And so he took on the challenge and he said that yes, we need to also link up for the placement. So it's an unending battle. But then this battle has to be taken in totality, and then only the kind of change that you are wanting to see today, which you say that we have begun, by taking your steps in terms of the change in the family, the change in your own mindset, the change around you, that change, if we can, take that change to a much greater trigger with you as the change maker, you as the catalyst, I'm sure that world would be a much better place to live in. Thank you so much and all the best.
Pride is born every hour in the country. The number of dowry deaths in the country have increased manyfold, and this social menace will only escalate further if you do not raise our voice. Say no to dowry. That became the mantra of Amity Vasundhara Sector 1. Let's welcome on stage team leader Pramay Rai with his team members Aditya Sundar, Nandini Rajput and Shivangi Goswami. Let's hear it for Amity Vasundhara 1.
Good morning, respected chairperson, ma'am, honorable members of the jury and all assembled guests. To quote Ronald Reagan, we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. That has been the motto of this year's youth party from Amity International School, Vasundhara Sector 1, as we did our best to make as large a difference as we could in as many lives as we could. The cause we chose to support was the crusade against dowry, which, as you know, has plagued our country for the last several centuries, destroying the lives of countless young brides and their families in an attempt to satiate the greed of their in-laws. And greed, as you all know, knows no end. In order to combat an evil this deep-rooted in our society, we must start by raising awareness amongst the next generation. So, we organized and carried out a number of inter-school activities such as panel discussion, special assemblies and poster-making competition amongst several others to sensitize our fellow students to the cause. The highlights of the intra-school Amava campaign were the dance, drama and Nukkad Natak that were highly appreciated by founder President Sir, and the poster-making competition, several of whose entries were incorporated into the 1 Billion Rising campaign conducted by Sarkar. We also did various things to rally support and garner attention for our cause outside the school, such as making a Facebook page, distributing pamphlets, and screening a video during our annual day in front of approximately 2,000 people. We also conducted multiple surveys in both an online and a door-to-door campaign. These surveys showed us that while most people are aware of the ills of dowry, not all of them are willing to fight against it. It was this mindset that was that we aimed to change. For our tangible activity, we approached a victim of dowry known to one of the members of our school faculty. Soon after her marriage, her in-laws had started harassing her both physically and mentally. She left her home in an attempt to make herself financially independent and find work for herself. After interacting with us, she was convinced to lodge an FIR, and with police intervention, she is now reconciled with her in-laws. Our fundraising activity involved selling homemade gold biscuits with simple recipe that received tremendous feedback. We raised Rs 2,200 over the course of a single afternoon, selling almost 400 biscuits. Clearly, the making and selling of these nutritious biscuits can be a way for women to achieve this much needed financial independence and break away from the shackles of dowry. We might not have been able to change the world, but I do believe that we did make a world of a difference in the lives that we could reach out to. And I know that even though this competition has drawn to an end today, none of us standing here will forget what we learned, and nor will we give up our vows to rid our society of dowry. Thank you.
God
like to ask that since you are a man or going to be a man, you have worked on this issue. How it has affected your personal thinking, personal belief on this? One day you are going to get married.
Well, see, the thing is, before we started working on this project, I didn't really give much of a thought to dowry. Is it, if it's something that happens if the bride's
No, it was too premature for you to give a thought of a dowry.
I didn't really think about it before we started working on this issue, but once we started learning more facts and stuff, I decided that I realized that it's really a bad thing, and even if it's being given willingly by the bride's father, it's still dowry, and it can be portrayed in such a way that while the groom's side forces it, they might portray it in such a way that the bride gave it willingly. So I mean, any form of dowry, whether it's willing or unwilling or whatever, is a bad thing. So if you ask me personally, no, there's definitely going to be no dowry if I ever get married.
And if your parents are at the other end of the stand, they are interested in dowry, but you said no dowry.
Honestly, I don't think I'll be being into an arranged marriage. So, going against my parents' wishes in one way, I don't mind going against it.
So you find the solution of this dowry problem by not going through the route of arranged marriage.
No, that's not a solution, but that's my experience.
Or diverting the issue or avoiding it.
It's one solution.
Well, be a man here and stand by it. You see, that is manliness. Thank you.
One more question. This is, I loved, there was an image in your report of dowry as a handcuff. I would like to ask the girls, in what ways does dowry handcuff a girl, you think? Getting a good dowry, lovely, Jaguar car, best flat, etc. How does it handcuff her?
So basically, what dowry does is, one thing, a lot of Indian families are not very well off, and dowry is extremely prevalent in India. So what the girl's parents say is that as it is in another 20 years or so, we're going to marry her off anyways. So there's no point in spending too much money on her education and stuff. So while she's with us, she might as well help out, increasing the income of the family. What this does is the girl is not extremely well educated or something. As such, she is bound, financially. She has no financial independence because there is nobody's going to employ somebody.
It doesn't symbolize the handcuff. The handcuffs don't symbolize the weird. It's not only for women; it's for a country, as a whole. And if we take pride in our tradition and culture, we say that India is a country where there are so many cultures, and we say it's a vibrant country. We take pride in our country, and if we really want our country to be the best in the world, we need to get rid of some age-old traditions which are not as good as the ones that we really take pride in.
Thank you.
I have one quick technical question. I found in your presentation, your team's presentation, that you have very creatively and successfully used data that you have collected through surveys and so on. I just want to get a sense from you how useful was data collection as an exercise, and how did you learn more about your topic? How did you enlarge your knowledge of your topic by getting the data? So how do you find data collection useful? Surveys and so on.
We knew that dowry existed, a lot, but we didn't know at this level. We found that dowry existed in our country at a level that we couldn't imagine it. People say that it has gone down in the past few decades or something, but when we asked a few officials and they told us that it has gone down but not significantly. You can still see cases. In urban areas it has gone down because people are finally understanding their rights and they can go to police stations and they can lodge a complaint. But in rural areas it's still prevalent because they don't know their own rights. They don't know. They might not even know that it's wrong for them to give dowry or accept dowry. So yes, ideas remain the same, but we started thinking more about it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
One question, last question. It's addressed to girls. Suppose you are in love with a boy and their parents are interested in dowry. You are trying to impress upon the boy you are in love with that this is not desirable, this is a social level, he should talk to his parents, but he is unable to have a say over his parents. What decision you will take in life?
Well, if someone loves me, I'm sure that he would be able to convince his parents.
I have told you that he has not been able to convince his parents. Either he has not tried to or he has failed to convince.
Still, I would be on side of my parents. I won't marry.
Then he has to go against. He has to go against his parents.
Thanks. But yeah.
Thank you, Anthony Basilva, sector 1.
You see, I have only one child, and the child is she.
36% of Indian women are chronically undernourished. 55% of women in the country suffer from anemia. And mind you, these are the same women who will give birth to our future generation. So are we headed towards becoming a country of malnourished people? Perhaps yes. That is, if we continue to undermine the significance of women's nourishment and health. Team Amity Push Bihar has taken a step towards nourishing her. I'd like to call on stage team leader Niharika Khanna and her team members Shireen Chandna, Anshul Sam and Twinkle Taneja. Let's hear it for Amity Push Bihar.
218 million.
In India, 218 million women are malnourished.
This means that in this auditorium itself, 1 out of 4 will be deficient in some of the other nutrients.
And these are not just mere calculations. These are the ground facts that we found out during our research.
We found it at places like Asha, at DJ classes like Govind-Puri, villages like Khori, and when we interviewed experts.
These are the facts that I'm sure all of us know. But what about the reality? What about the fatal consequences of this problem?
A malnourished body is a weak and dependent body. A malnourished body cannot think properly, required for education of women. A malnourished body cannot speak properly, required for vocational training of women. A malnourished body is defenseless against the evils of society and hence cannot keep herself safe from abuses.
Nourishing Her was born with an aim to enlighten as many people as possible about the issue and give them the necessary tools to fight it.
To us, awareness was the most difficult task at hand, but it became our biggest strength when we structured our approach. We first targeted social media, where we made a Facebook page that got over 1400 likes.
We also made an Ask.fm page among other activities like worldwide messages and Amity website.
We as a youth leaders believe in not only talking about our message, but spreading our message through various appealing performing arts.
In music, we composed a song with the help of IOT Band. This song reached out to 3,000 people in various concerts.
In dance, we conducted flash mobs at various places, including Select City Walk, which reached out to audiences of all ages.
In theatre, we performed a street play at J Block Market, where people of all classes could witness it.
In art, we conducted an interesting sand art activity at Ramgiri Gurgaon, which is a major fitness hub.
Minds of children are known to be easily impressionable. Hence, we decided to inculcate in them the nutritional know-how that will make them more sensitive towards women's health.
We conducted 12 activities in the junior classes, including healthy meal, health race, and innovative ones like nutrient price activity.
While with the senior classes, we held activities such as talk with a nutritionist and Paint for Change competition.
Under general activities, we conducted 9 activities like intra-school rally, seminar with teachers, and 3 different types of signature campaigns.
Through our awareness campaign in school, we not only targeted the 1,500 children, but we also targeted the 3,000 children, the 3,000 parents.
This was to also target 150 teachers of our school.
Mass awareness for us meant targeting a large number of audience in the most effective manner possible.
We started a program called Connecting Delhi with Nutrition, in which 115 Nourishing Her volunteers went to 23 colonies of Delhi to spread awareness about our cause.
Grameen Seva was an initiative in which we visited a Grameen Seva depot in Govindpuri and interacted with people coming from various state clusters.
We also started different kinds of campaigns, and we got featured in Radio Amity 107.8 FM, that is this university's radio channel. We also got featured on many newspapers like Times of India and Indian Express. Along with that, we had interesting campaigns like Bulk SMS, Nourishing Her at Gulati's Restaurant, and Diet Chart at Durga Puja.
We understood how imperative it was to devise a specific mechanism for different sections of the society. For women belonging to low-income groups, we conducted activities like pocket-friendly nutrition talk and gave them healthy gifts.
Under moderate income groups, we conducted different activities like explaining them how to read nutrition labels.
Fundraisers are the basis of knowing how people react to social initiatives and are a measure of impact on the society.
Hence, as a part of our fundraisers, we sold whole wheat banana muffins and nutritional EPs which were made by us and our Nourishing Her volunteers.
We also designed recipe books from our recipe contest on Facebook and made table mats with women-centric nutritional facts on them.
Apart from this, we created special Nourishing Her merchandise and our very own mascot, Poppins.
For us, the tangible ground was to bring about a measurable impact on the society. We conducted a health camp with the female helpers of our school to check their hemoglobin levels. This was sponsored by the SL Diagnostic Lab. We got appropriate medicines prescribed for them, which were then given to them for a period of 3 months. Under our Nutrition Week program, we also gave 1 fruit per day to the maids of our school, which were collated from our Little Nourishing Her volunteers.
When the blood tests were conducted again, our happiness knew no bounds, because just in a matter of 3 months of hard work of coaxing and telling them to take fruits and supplements, their HP levels rose drastically, and almost all the females who were anemic became normal in just 3 months. Now we move on to the other tangible. In the moderate and high income section of society, we targeted them with one thing that all of them want, which is the smartphone. We created an Android application called Nutrinari, which is available on Google Play. It checks the BMI of a female and gives her the exact nutrition input she requires for her body. This app got over 500 plus downloads on Google Play.
The existence of this application meant that a woman at any point of time could check her BMI and plan her own diet.
Now we move on to the panel discussion. The panel discussion phase was very imperative for us to get expert opinion, and we got various members of the society to get direction for our cause.
We worked with 2 NGOs, namely Yeti, wherein we visited Khori village and helped them in holding a seminar with the female village dwellers on economic food items and necessity of health checkups.
We also worked with Sapna, an NGO which works in AIMS and Subjam with destitute patients. We made specialized economic diet charts for the destitute patients there. We completed a total of 17 hours of NGO work in this process.
The one thing that all of you might have noticed is that in all our campaigns, we tried to reach out to as many people as possible. And we are proud to say that in the 68 activities that we conducted, our total estimate reach was about 8.46 lakhs.
And the total lives that we changed in the process were tangible was 530. Now just imagine, if half of the people we reached out to were inspired by that action and changed half of the lives that we changed, we could change 92 million lives, and this can reduce malnutrition by a staggering 46%.
This is how it's nourishing her. I see a better future. We see a better future. But now the point is, do you see a better future?
Thank you.
गोद में उठाए नन्ही को सीने लगाए हाथों में हाथ लेकर माँ बेटी को बहन सी, जाने जग तुझे क्यों पूजे ना, यानी क्यों तू कभी अपने लिए सोचे ना।
We have amidst us Ms. Sapna Chauhan, Chairperson, Amion Group of Schools. Let's welcome her with a huge round of applause. Amity Schools, I'm sure we can do much better than this. And now we should proceed to the Q&A.
Commendable effort on your part, well chosen topic, well researched, well presented. You are now almost young men and women. You would have a career in mind. Can one of you tell me what you have chosen and how you will incorporate this consciousness you have built up over the last year into your chosen profession?
Actually, what we've observed during our entire this campus, this project of ours, is that people have that chalta hai attitude. You do not know it. You can only bring the horse to the water. You cannot make it drink it. As we observed during our project also. Our mates, they knew about it. They knew that they're supposed to eat fruit, but they did not have it. Mainly because they wanted to feed their children. They did not want to nourish themselves. So I think they have to realize the fact that it is through them that the generation is going to progress, and that is through them that we're going to move to a better future. That is what we all need to realize, that we are all important.
May I know your name, please? Twinkle, I want to know, what have you decided on a career and how will you incorporate knowledge that you've acquired that women want to care more for others than for themselves?
I wish to be an economist. Since our Prime Minister is also an economist and he has done a wonderful job for our country. So I think I'm going to try to uplift the nation and trying to eradicate poverty in our nation, because I think that is one of the main reasons why people are not able to eat healthy food.
Can I have the next question?
Usually when we talk about nutrition or malnourishment and all, people rightly or wrongly, in my opinion wrongly, they associate it that the costly food intake, the costly food item is a way to gain your nutritional level. How far do you agree to it?
So we had a panel discussion and we had invited Dr. Naveen Dhamija from the National Commission for Health and Welfare. And he quoted, nature ke jitna paas rahoge, utna sukhi rahoge. Why don't we try to inculcate seasonal fruits in our diet? We have a lot of fruits that are there, a lot of vegetables, a lot of things available in the market that are very cheap. For example, I'll tell you, we have bajra ki roti instead of whole grains that we get in the market. We have bajra, we have jowar, and then we have meaty-like vegetables. Why do we always opt for broccoli? Why do we always go for things that are very expensive?
Thank you, Team Pushpihar. We have amidst us Ms. Pooja Chauhan, Vice Chairperson, Amity Humanity Foundation. Let's welcome her with a huge round of applause. Amity International Schools, we cannot go on like this. You have to clap better and louder. Thank you. We also have amidst us Ms. Divya Chauhan, Chairperson, Amity School of Fashion Technology, Amity School of Fine Arts, and Amity School of Performing Arts. Let's welcome her with a huge round of applause, everyone. 2,44,270. That is the number of incidents of crime against women for the year 2012. Shocking, isn't it? Rape, molestation, eve-teasing, domestic violence, the modern-day urban woman faces every abuse imaginable. This is exactly why our next team, that is the YP team from Amity Vasundhara 6, took up the challenge of fusing the abuse. Let's welcome on stage Shruti Sinha, Alisha Sharma and Akash Sharma from Amity Vasundhara 6. Let's hear it for them.
Good afternoon, everyone. She is hurt. She is abused. She is outcasted. But without her, nothing would have lasted. Kindly be a witness to these. What we saw here is not an uncommon sight. The morning newspaper frequently comes with the mourning of a female's dignity. This boils my blood. I question, am I safe? But for how long? I don't know. This is exactly why I and my team members joined hands to together fuse the abuse. What is abuse? The Oxford Dictionary defines abuse as to treat somebody in a cruel or violent way, especially sexually. We chose this topic as the various cases and verdicts that came out in the past 1 year made us think that it is high time to put a full stop to this. So we began a journey. We first got the statistics and information. We got into our research work and we were shocked to see that there seemed no difference between the abuses faced by rural women and urban women. And our 2 case studies also proved the stats to be true. It is then that we vouched for making our country a superpower with super women. And we decided to fuse it. We rallied the cause. Thus, we televised it through Meri Baat on DD National to reach out to the entire nation, a nation of 125 crore population. We staged it on the annual day to highlight women empowerment through various performances. On the anniversary of Nirbhaya case on December 16, the AIS V6 students braved the call to silently voice it out. Each member held a righted discussion in their localities to beware the ladies of their rights. We thought of an innovative way to fix it. So we fixed up 20 posters behind 22 school buses, 12 private vans and 8 autos to spread it. The students of the senior wing had a write-it contest to write the slogans in the cause and the best ones were awarded to them. The students of the middle wing had a market activity to make bookmarks with inspiring quotes. Our team member Akash Sharma frequently gave insights about the cause every day during the morning assembly to speak it out and spread it. Our team member Riaro. This is how we fixed our abuse. The students of the senior wing had a write-it contest to write slogans on the cause and the best ones were awarded too. The students of the middle wing had a market activity to make bookmarks with inspiring quotes. Facebook and YouTube are the biggest phrases in the world, and in order to connect worldwide, we decided to make it. We conducted a survey for our cause and asked people from all age groups to fill it. Alisha did wrap it quite well to leave the hall enthralled to her reverberating applause. The students, we needed to know more about the legal provisions for the safety of women, so we went to Ms. Nandini Gore, an SC lawyer, to ask it. The students were asked to badge it all week long to spread it wherever they went. On the pious occasion of Lori, we decided to burn it. So we together burned various forms of abuses faced by urban women. The tangible changes. We made a low-cost, handy and effective chili spray to spray
We also call it chili chatka, zor ka chatka. We also have the 10 pointers for each woman. All the Fun Generation activities were based to make a woman financially empowered, and they were fight it. The teachers and BBs were trained to fight it through a tug of war. Self-defense training was given to the female staff by the physical education instructors who were trained in martial arts. We had to sell it, so the bookmarks were put on sale during Children's Day. We just added the signs relating to our cause and inked it. We asked the parents to come and bite it to find the hidden treasure. We also wanted to post it so that our message would reach to even those out of station. Every female loves to look beautiful, so we thought to beautify the nails and nail it, meanwhile promoting our cause. We invited a prestigious panel to give us insights and with whom we could discuss it very well. One of the best lines spoken by Mr. Vinod Mohan, our panelist, was that a son is a son till he gets a wife, but a daughter is a daughter for life.
Son is a son.
We wanted to serve him so that we could connect with those in the low income. Finally, we convey that a woman is not a toy. Remember that you were born because of her. A mother, a daughter, a sister, a wife. She is there in every part of your life. If you make her life miserable, you're making your life hell. But the youth is here to the rescue. We will help to reduce the abuses faced by urban women, and we will empower her all along. You have been inside with us, our cause and our journey. But don't be meek spectators. Watch, learn and act. You have watched and must have learned, and now it's time to act. I expect that you too will help us fuse the abuse, because that will be our real prize. And now it's time to stop tolerating and start celebrating the pride in being a woman. Now we move on to our creative communication.
आपके घर बेटी पैदा हुई है।
कटेगा कहाँ पे जीतेगा कहाँ पे बचेगा तो गिरेगा तेरा तो चिरेगा छिपा तो मिलेगा मिला तो मरेगा ये ज़लज़ला है पूरे ज़ोर पर चला है जिसमें दम है जो लड़ा है कौन रह सका खड़ा है सबसे अटल सबसे प्रबल शस्त्र रचते आज सारी रात क्या पता मर के साथ पाओ नाच नाच उंगलियों पे नाच नाच रात सारी मौत का मगारी बाज कमर से कटारी नाच
And now we should move to the Q&A session. I'd like to invite the first question from Ms. Java.
Your topic is again quite well defined. I want to know, why did you decide to focus on urban women? Because it says abuses faced by urban women.
Ma'am,
everybody wants to focus on rural women because they are not properly educated, they don't have the facilities, and even there's a lot of exploitation there. But we chose urban areas because even after having the proper education, you are having sex education, you are having all kind of education which is required. Still, why are these abuses prevalent in urban areas? So that's why we chose this topic.
I'm just wondering if you have a sense of what is the underpinning, you can't call it a value, you have to call it some kind of a, what underlies, perhaps it's manifested in the mindset, what underlies abuse? Because abuse generally connotes when somebody is vested with some kind of authority or power, that is then misused and against the person whom you are actually supposed to be trying to protect. So did you also look at different types of abuse, like child abuse, for example, incest, which happens within families? While doing the course of your research and so on, did any of these also come into your mind?
Ma'am, we actually focus mainly on 3 types of abuses: psychological abuses, financial abuses, and honor killings. Honor killing cases we couldn't find many, but so we focused on these psychological abuse and financial abuse. We went forward with these abuses and we had a questionnaire on these cases.
And what did you learn from your data?
Ma'am, we learned that mostly the psychological abuse is more of prevalent in urban areas because financial abuse is not as much because the urban ladies, they are more financially stable. But psychological abuse can happen in any way. The mental abuse, which is speaking wrong words or telling them that you cannot do this, you are not capable of this, that kind of, because you are belittling the person, you are disparaging that woman from stepping out into the world and making a difference. So we found this used to be more prevalent.
To be more widespread in the urban area, yeah? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The youth power team of Amity Gurgaon 46 believed so and hence took up the cause of vocational training of women. Let's welcome on stage team leader Shrishti Kajaria along with the team members Soumya Mittal, Samriti Nagar and Aditya Thakral. Let's hear it for AIS Gurgaon 46.
Wait, which way? Michelangelo once said, "The greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it." Good morning. We, the Youth Bar team of AIS 46, stand proudly here today as not only changed people, but as agents of change. Youth Bar for us, as well as the women we empowered, has been a journey of discovery and determination, of challenges and triumph. Our dream was to empower underprivileged women with a dream, a vision to fly high and find their place in the sun. Our goal was to empower these women with vocational skills which would help them earn a livelihood. Our pride, the employment of 2 of the women training with us, one as a beautician and the other as an assistant teacher. I'm sure everyone here present has taught someone in their life and they know how hard and challenging it is. When the women with us baked their first cake, the joy we felt was like that of a mother, the way she feels when her son writes his first alphabet. She teaches him how to write, but she learns how hard it is to polish another human being. We taught the women, but we learned even more. When we heard about their hardships, we learned and we started and we felt blessed to have the life we did. When we saw the world from their perspective, we saw reality. But most of all, when we felt the pain they did, we felt the need to work harder, each and every day, so that these women could make most of those 2 hours they spent with us every day. Every day meant a new challenge, but giving up was never an option. Our first challenge was gathering women who were willing and able to learn. Before teaching them a skill, we had to teach them why that skill was so important for them and how it would change their life. Our second challenge was cutting down to 5 skills we were sure that would help the women lead a better livelihood. We cut down to 5 skills which were pottery, English speaking, needlework, nutrition training and baking. We had to design a curriculum accommodating 5 different classes every day, each teaching the women a new skill. Our next challenge was finding people to teach these skills to the women. Student, teacher, paid and volunteers helped us out. Women have a multiple role in a household. Before they were our students, these women were mothers. They had children to take care of. For that, we appointed student volunteers who stayed back at school to take care of the children of these women while they learned. Our fourth challenge was making sure that these women attended their class consistently so that they can perfect a particular skill which will help them earn a livelihood later. Our journey with these women from dough to cake, from thread to a cloth, from clay to a pot has been challenging at every step, yet worth it. I feel humble yet proud to announce that 2 of the women with us are now employed and the rest are in the process. They say that the best feelings are those which cannot be put into words. I couldn't agree more as I stand here today and I have no words to describe the way I felt when I knew I had changed a life.
Creating awareness. Awareness is the foundation of our communication. Creating awareness was not just a phase for us, but rather a basic necessity in our vocational training model. So first we started with a basic phase, that was creating awareness in the school. For these we had certain activities such as e-poster making, photography competition, rangoli making, youth fireboards, special assembly. Then, as we increased from a small scale to large scale, we went on to spread awareness in and around Gurgaon. For example, we had activities like giving out brochures, badges, getting independent art t-shirts made, giving out spreading of Facebook page awareness, and maintaining our signature campaigns. Our proudest moment in this phase when our 3 articles got published in Global Times, Times of India and the News Express. The unity of the whole school played a very important part in this. As an example stands our school banner. Every student from class 1 to 12 helped in painting it by making slogans, pasting pictures in it and hanging it on the first floor courtyard. It stands there proudly on the first floor courtyard, greeting every visitor who comes there by telling them the tales of our success and hard work. Our determination and enthusiasm was also portrayed when we did 2 rallies, one in Galleria and the second one in Huda City Center. People from all walks of life were ready to help us. But in the end, it wasn't financial assistance or volunteering that we needed. It was more of their motivational words, their high hopes to our association that kept us going.
Charity begins at home. Phase 3, fundraising. Why do we collect newspapers? They are such a waste. But Independent Eye has managed to transform this waste into a sample model to raise funds. Money raised in one day by selling one day's newspaper was ₹700. Funds that can be generated in 1 month is 21,000. The fund that can be raised by 8 such amity schools every month is 1,68,000. And this sum of money can be very effectively used to empower women in the rightful and the required ways. We also had car wash drives where we distributed brochures and washed cars to spread awareness. Next was the muffins. We sold muffins which were made by the women, which firstly boosted their confidence and secondly helped us to raise funds. We tied with a daycare called IPSA and did photography for them. Last but not the least was a winter carnival stall. We made table lamps, pots, brochures, badges, etc. and sold them to raise funds. Working with NGO Phase 4.
Independent Eye collaborated with an NGO called Asha Kiran, which supports the female children of sex workers. This was the place where we did our groundwork. We spoke to them about different vocational abilities, different vocational training possibilities, their future prospects, educational qualifications, and helped them. Lastly, we also created books, clothes, cosmetics, etc., which was used to run the NGO.
Out of the hut of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I am a black ocean leaping in wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. I am the dream and hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. If 4 of us together could change 15 lives in 7 months, I am sure that everybody present in this auditorium today would work towards a skill, we could sure dream of a better India. I would now like to call upon my team to present the creative communication. Thank you.
औरत की क्या हस्ती, चीज वो कितनी सस्ती है, कहीं वो दिल की रानी है, कहीं बस एक कहानी है, कहीं वो दुर्गा माता है, इस संसार की दाता है, सबके ताने सहती है, फिर भी वो चुप रहती है। और दुनिया अगर मिल जाए तो क्या है, ममता की बिखरी कहानी की दुनिया, वो दुनिया बहनों की सिसकी जवानी की दुनिया, वो दुनिया।
सुनो द्रौपदी, शस्त्र उठा लो, अब गोविंद ना आएंगे, छोड़ो मेहंदी, खड़क संभालो, क्योंकि अपना चीर बचा लो, दूत बिछाए बैठे शकुनी, मस्तक सब बिक जाएंगे। सुनो द्रौपदी, शस्त्र उठा लो, अब गोविंद ना आएंगे।
ममता भी तू, क्षमता भी तू, चंचल भी तू, नटखट भी तू, हिमाचल भी तू, हिमाचल भी तू, मेरा आज तू, मेरा कल भी तू, मैं तेरा ही, तुझसे ही, तुझ में ही, तू ही तू।
First of all, great compliments on being able to speak so intelligently without the aid of paper. Well done.
Thank you.
Perfect compliment. And in empowering the women, I think you all feel empowered yourself, right?
Yes,
You can change lives. One thing that came to mind was, beautician and even the icons you had in your creative presentation, the stone mill or the sewing machine. These are very gender-specific professions that we associate with women. How do you think we can encourage women to take up becoming electricians, plumbers, taxi drivers?
Ma'am, the one major reason for us taking these things was we wanted to take skills which women would be comfortable in working with and something they were already aware with, so that the time we had for perfecting those skills would increase since we only had limited time. Otherwise, yes, I would absolutely love the idea if we could actually urge women to learn driving. In our article in the newspaper also, we wrote about this one woman who was the first railway driver in Bombay, and she inspired a lot many women. So it is actually very inspiring and something we want to do. But our only reason for taking gender-specific skills was our limited time, and we wanted something within their comfort zone, because their coming to our school was actually a new environment for them. That's why we wanted to make them most comfortable and also, perfect the skill.
Yeah. I agree to Madam what she said, that why the skill training has to be gender specific or gender linked only. I mean, as she said, there could be electrician or a taxi driver, or which also symbolizes a gender bender or a gender equality kind of it in the process helps. Because the women are associated with cooking, the beautician, the needlework, the stitching. I mean, traditionally we identify these are vocational skills for them only, which are also nowadays not very economically profitable.
That is not true because according to the NSSO, 77.3% of highly educated women in urban India are unemployed. Hence, giving them an education would not necessarily solve our problem. And sir, if you give me one more year, I will bring electricians to you. I'll get you 10 women as trained electricians. I can promise you that.
Thank you, 46. I'd like to invite on stage Ms. Shobna Narayan to kindly address the August gathering. Ma'am, can we have you on stage, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I would like to not only congratulate but thank the chairperson, Mrs. Chauhan, and her wonderful team that she has for thinking of this program, this initiative that you've undertaken. It's beautiful, it's thought-provoking, and for the children, and even for all of us. And why I'd like to thank you is that you thought of me and making me a part of this morning. Thank you very, very much indeed. And congratulations to all of you. It was with great interest that I was watching, hearing our school children. And I must congratulate all of you children. You all have done a wonderful job. Give yourself a big hand. Beautiful indeed. Each one of you, I think each presentation, there was a lot of thought behind each presentation, and I'm glad that the school gave you this opportunity of giving in your best, of thinking, of introspecting on different aspects of an issue which is so important to us. Before I go further, I'd just like to ask a question of that. I'm tempted to ask. Is it okay if I ask you a question? Yes or no? Okay. How many of you love driving? Okay. Lovely, lovely. A lot of you love driving. Over here also? Yes. How many of the children love driving? Wow. How many of you actually drive? Wonderful. Lovely. Not the teachers and the parents, but I'm talking about the children. Lovely. Now, how many of you even have a driving license? Lovely. Now, I can understand if the first two row have a driving license. And I was asking Mr. Chauhan, what are your age groups? And if a lot of hands went up with the driving license, you are all underage, by the way. Now, since you're underage, I think, should you have a driving license with you? Yes or no? Yes? Underage? Well, now you're talking, because that is the first step towards sensitivity, the first step towards appreciation of rules and regulations. It is the first step to making a proper and good citizen. Okay? And that is the reason why I was asking. We can talk a lot about what we should do. A very nice question was asked by one of the jury members over here. What would you do if were you placed in that position later on in life, when you grow in life, when you grew up in life? This is something that each one of us has to introspect. There are no dearth of rules and regulations, as you saw, as some of your presentations have brought out. there are no dearth of rules and regulations. There are no dearth of people, all of us and the elder category telling you all what you should do and not to do. But the basic is, what are you doing? Where is that sensitivity and concern within you? Today we say, aren't we 21st century? Are we or not? Yes. Is it supposed to be a civilized society? Yes or no? Right. So compared to 3,000 years ago, are we more civilized today? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. 3,000 years ago, maybe 4,000 years ago, or 5,000 years ago, Draupadi was humiliated in open court. And today, all the presentations that you are doing is talking about the same thing. Are we more civilized, by the way, there? Now let me ask you a question. We are, so where is it? What has education given us? We talk about giving education. But let me ask you, I used to be also a civil servant, and I was all in the CAG's office, and I'll just give you a small example. Way back about 8-10 years ago, we had done a little audit study, and it is known that in this, as somebody, our fellow jury over here did ask about statistics and what it makes you think. And where we have statistics galore, but when there was this question of female feticide and the misuse of ultrasound in aborting the female fetus, it was South Delhi which ruled the roost. It was South Delhi, and South Delhi largely consisting of very educated and well-placed people. So what are we talking about? We have to understand, and somewhere we have lost that little sensitivity. हम सब चाहते हैं मुझे ये मिल जाए, मुझे ये मिल जाए, मुझे ये मिल जाए, लेकिन हम वो जो है दूसरे को नहीं देते हैं. We forget that every action has, all of you have done basic physics, so every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and if I spit out unconcern and non-sensitivity, somewhere it's going to reflect back at me. And that is exactly what each one of us has to learn wherever we are. It is not that being educated that I am much more sensitive. No. It is somewhere within. It is somewhere within. It is not that if I wear fantastic clothes which are straight out of Harrods or something, that I'm in society. No. It is who you are and what you are. Because sometimes even the common man on the street will perhaps teach you much more that you ought to learn than what you have. And remember, each one of us, somewhere, if we have gone wrong, and our generation, I'm not saying that our generation did fantastic things, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about all the ills of society. Every generation is contributing to a growing, while there is, I would say that in every generation there's always a small group of thinking people, sensitive people, and it is that which keeps the wheels churning of the world. Let's hang each one of them in every generation, in every era, that small group of thinking people or people imbued with sensitivity and concern who are making the wheels of this universe churn. And keep going, on which we are standing and reaping the harvest and benefits, but not giving back to it in the same measure that we should with the sensitivity and concern. And that is somewhere we need to introspect. अभी एक आपने कहा कि that little girl fell, sort of died because of I must say each and every presentation of yours, what you all have done was very good, and I congratulate each and every group that has done it till now. All the presentations, very well done. But on female, we all have, remember that in the house, even You talked about tangible and intangible. Even our most intangible behavioral attitude speaks volumes and perhaps speaks more than what we say with our words. If at home, a mother, even the mother who is not empowered in the worldly sense, and if she's not empowered, but if she keeps telling, she needs out equal treatment to the daughter and the son, it will have an impact later on. But if she needs out unequal treatment between the daughter and the son, or even with her passivity, passive voice, passive attitude, I think she is as much to be blamed as the others, each one of us. Because somewhere, if that boy, or the 16th December episode and many other episodes which we keep talking about would not have happened if that the concern was sort of awakened with, and it was the family atmosphere at home, and that also creates a mental mindset. In fact, I would like to ask another question, that how many of you, when you see a neighbor driving an Audi car or a Jaguar, don't you go back to your parents and say, they have a Jaguar, why don't I have? Maybe I'll go for a Ferrari. Why can't you buy it? Now the question is, there is no end to I would like to have this and I would like to have that. But that is the beginning. That uncontrolled desire, without realizing that I myself should be working for it, spending my, sweating it out for it, because that way I will understand the value of whatever I get. And if I get it too cheap and too free and absolutely easy, I will not understand its value at all. And that is the first point of reference for your beginning of your dowry debts and your dowry problems and every other problem that we are. Because somewhere we want to make it quick, whatever it is. And so what better method? Number one. Number two, there have been many cases of even women who are unfortunate victims. But amongst them, many women, perhaps the feminine gender, we have to sometimes understand that my parents, because I've heard of many young girls saying, my marriage is a wreck because you never provided whatever my in-laws asked for. There are many who have not increased, but there are some amongst us who are holding the parents responsible because they were not able to accede to the demands, the increasing demands. I think I would like us to introspect. I know about the financial situation of my parents best. Are they in a position to do it? Should I ask them for it? Should I blame them for all the ills of my life as I'm blaming the in-laws? So somewhere each one of us has to introspect. And each one of us has to introspect about even what we want. We have to be careful about even being honest with ourselves. What are my capabilities? What are my attributes? How much am I capable of doing? And accordingly my desire should be in sync with it. Otherwise, if there is too much of a gap, I'm sorry, we each grow up to be the most unhappy and imbalanced individual. And finally, I'd like to say, it's not in, I know children, I know it's not in to talk about Hindi poets, because it's better to talk about Western poets. But still, remember that even within our vernacular literature, there are gems in that, number one. Number two, even it is not in, I know, in the youngsters, to talk about, to think about our mythological tales. Because kahan hai, takya lucy hai, it doesn't have any, kya hai, vagara vagara, because even I teach you, or each one of us are teaching children somewhere or the other. But let me say that, look into it, learn to go into the depth of it, and you'll find again gems over there. For example, अगर हम काले दमन की बात करते हैं, now today is Earth Day. Okay. Now today being Earth Day, we have a water pollution day, water pollution. We have all kinds of days. I think in the 365 days a year, we might be celebrating something or the other, virtually most part of the year. Now the reason is that every day should be an Earth Day for us. Every day should be a Mother's Day for us. Every moment should be everything for us, whatever we are. अगर हम कालिया दमन को देखते हैं कि in the water, Kalia was just synonymous, a synonym for polluted water. And remember that Krishna does not kill Kalia, only subjugates. Because you do need to have an underwater life itself and the life cycle. And there has to be harmony and balance. Now, what is it talking about? Harmony and balance. And that is what we have to do within ourselves, that harmony and balance, empty ourselves of unwanted desires, and then we will find inner happiness. और लास्ट में हमारे रामधारी सिंह दिनकर की एक कविता है, पूरा नहीं कहूँगी, छोटा सा है और आप लोगों के लिए है. It's a beautiful. Hold a mirror to yourself. Hold a mirror to yourself. It says दर्पण. से जा रही देवता से मिलने, जा रही देवता से मिलने तो इतनी कृपा किए जा, अपनी फूलों की डाली में दर्पण यह देख लिए जा. जब आरती फूल फल से प्रसन्न पहले कर लेना, पर हाल धरत्री का पूछे सम्मुख दर्पण यह धर देना. बिंबित है इसमें पुरुष पुरातन के मानव का घोर भवन, है नाच रही पृथ्वी इसमें, है नाच रहा इसमें अंबर. लेकिन ये स्वयं दिखाएगा छाया मिट्टी के चाहों की, अंबर की घोर विकलता की, धरती की आकुलताओं की. Yeah, I mean, so it is what is saying that what we are creating, this beauty of creation, what we make of it, each one of us has to take on the responsibility of what we are making of it. Are we making corpses out of beautiful musical instruments? The musical instrument, by the way, is within ourselves. It's not, I'm not talking about the tangible part of it, I'm talking about the intangible. And the beauty is within us. Each one of us has a Krishna, each one of us has a Gopi within us. But are we all wearing masks? I think 3 productions had masks on them. And I would like to ask you all, look into yourself, are you yourself wearing a mask? Are we ourselves wearing a mask? Whether at this age of mine or at any age, let us keep questioning ourselves, are we wearing a mask? A mask of whatever we show to people and what we actually act and believe in. So there it is. Keep an open mind, keep that sensitivity within you alive, and be that change. Be that change first within yourself. Then only small ripples will spread itself around. बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है और आप वो छोटी सी बूंद हो जाए. इतना अच्छा लगा जब 2 बच्चों ने कहा कि आज हमने 10 लोगों को बदला है, कल हम जाकर के 100 लोगों को बदलेंगे, कल परसों जाकर के 10,000 लोगों को बदलेंगे. And another little girl said, give me the time and I will make a change and create and show you that change. That's the spirit. I love your spirit. I love that vision in you. And congratulations. Keep that ingenuity, the creativity, the passion in you alive. I wish, and with that, I wish you all well in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. That was enlightening indeed. I'd now like to request Ms. Shamina Shafiq to join us on stage and address the August gathering.
Good afternoon, Amity, and congratulations. Congratulations to each one of you, Amity family, the chairperson, Mrs. Chauhan, the entire family. It's amazing, it was mesmerizing, and I must say, Happy Women's Day. Because truly you've made the day for us, for each woman of this country. The kind of involvement, the kind of dedication, the kind of sensitivity that you've shown in your presentations, the 5 presentations that I happened to witness. Luckily, I would say luckily because it's just by chance that I'm here. And I'm really fortunate to have witnessed such beautiful presentations. And while sitting there, I just thought that Amity, if you really want to give another name, I believe that innovation, confidence and sensitivity must be your second name, Amity students. Because this is really amazing. At National Commission for Women, we happen to meet, we happen to talk, we happen to interact with women all across the nation, all states. I, as a member, individually ensure that whenever I am visiting any city for that matter, I try to interact with the younger generation, with students of schools, of colleges, and it has been always a learning experience for me as an individual, for me as a member of National Commission for Women, because you have so much of potential, enormous potential, thought-provoking ideas, the conviction that you have within yourselves. I think that is what is going to make the difference to this world. There's a lot of hope that I see. There's a lot of hope that I see for India, for this young India which is talking about youth power, power of youth, power of conviction, of the ideas that you have, and you have actually implemented. You are actually implementing them at the grassroots level. The NGOs that we interact, they have a lot of knowledge, but still their knowledge is limited to the topic, to the subject that they have expertise on or that they're working in. But you have shown immense diversity in the kind of subjects that you have chosen. It started with respecting a woman. Your presentation started, the first presentation of Saket branch, I remember it was respecting a woman. And the last presentation that I saw was empowerment, especially economic empowerment of a woman. Wow, what a journey. What a journey. Because irrespective of what odds that a woman has to face in life, all the trauma that a woman has to face in life, there is still a lot of hope, because I see each one of you bringing that change that we really want to see in the society. Very well said. It was, I think, quoted more than once that charity begins at home. And each one of you happen to be, and this is how I see you, as ambassadors of change, ambassadors of peace, and you can bring that change in your homes first of all, with your mothers, with your sisters, with your bhabis, with your aunts, with your grandmas. You can bring that change. You can bring that change with your neighbors. There is one very important gesture of stopping violence against women, and that is Bell Bajao Abhiyan. Have you ever heard it? Bell Bajao Abhiyan. If a woman is being hurt, is being abused in the next door, the least that you can do, or the maximum at your age that you can do, I believe, is at least press the bell, so that the person who is abusing would get alert that, oh God, maybe there is somebody at the door. So at least for then you can stop that violence which is taking place in that vicinity of that four walls. You know what, children, it is really very disheartening to say something, but it is the ground reality. We talk about violence. We say that there is violence, and we have seen that violence, all forms of violence practically have shown. Let us see from the perspective of a man. You have a father, you have a brother, you have a mother, you have a sister. You are a man for yourself. A man who's working outside the whole day long work, and he comes back home because he wants that peace, that security, that safety, that love and warmth of the family within those four walls of the house. And that is why he comes back home tired, and he knows that the moment he goes home, he'll be within those safe, cozy walls of his home, and he's comfortable. Now think about a woman, think about a girl, when she's raised as a girl child, throughout that journey of hers, she's been told, you have to go to somebody else's house. That means she's been told that this is not your house. You have to go into somebody else's house. And then she goes there. And within those four walls, forget about what kind of violence she's subjected to on the roads, but within those four walls, she's not safe. Most of the time she's not safe. And very well said that it is more of urban women who are facing those violences and they're not even ready to speak of it. You'll see some good English speaking so-called elite circle women moving out with confidence, nicely painted faces, but at the end of the day they are abused. They are subjected to violence, and because they have to carry that good image of their household, they have to carry that good, project that good image of their household, they are subjected to that abuse within those four walls, and again in the next morning they get up and they say that, oh, I'm fine, everything is okay in my home, everything is fine, and again she goes back to work, or again she goes back to whatever place that she has to go. So this is the dilemma that a woman has to go through. एक किसी प्रेजेंटेशन में आया भी था, कोख से लेकर कब्र तक, right from the womb to actually the death, which I feel that actually it frees the woman from all sorts of violence which she's subjected to, unfortunately, but this is the reality. So that reality can be checked only by your involvement. The economic empowerment, that the model that was lastly presented to me, I mean, 17 or 16 women, I believe, you made the change to their lives. Amazing, amazing. If one school, if 4 of you can do that, imagine how many lives can be changed if each school, irrespective of whether the school is in a village, in a block, at a block level, or maybe at a town level, can make that change. And I really wish to say this, because this thing came up to my mind, that why not tie up with National Commission for Women? Why not let us do something? Let us do something. Because if you as ambassadors of peace, if you can do this, why not present this idea to all schools, to all principals, to all teachers, that why not just 1 hour, I believe you have given 1 to 2, just 1 hour of dedication, of your contribution to the change that you want to bring about in this world. I think that can actually change. You know what, all the seminars, all the conferences, all the so-called women, the activists, we all talk about changing the mindsets. And I always question this idea. Because if you or I cannot change the way our mother actually follows her daily routine, if you and I cannot change how much sugar an adult takes in one cup of tea, how can we actually talk about changing the mindset at the age of 35, 40? We certainly cannot. And that is why, National Commission for Women, for that matter, came into existence 20 years ago, 21 years ago, and still the problems remain the same. Because we have been focusing and targeting on that age group, which certainly cannot change. We talk good, but we don't practice good. There is a lot of difference between teaching, preaching, and practicing. So we are one people, we would love to preach goody things, but when it comes to practicing, we would die to do that. We would actually not do that. So I feel that the change can actually be brought about with you. We can change you. You can change us, for that matter. For example, if your mother is at times disrespected by your father, maybe unawares, maybe he's not even aware that he has questioned your mother for something, you can politely say that Father, this is not the right way. She's an individual as well, apart from being my mom or your wife. I think that can be done. If you can very well talk about Ferraris and Audis, you can also talk about giving respect to your mothers and your sisters at home. So that change can be brought. And if all of us together, if we actually focus and target the only youth, the youth power that you're talking about, then 5 years, just 5 years, because 5 years or 7 years you are going to be grown up individuals. 10 years you'll be having families. And those 10 years or 12 years, we can see an entirely different country. Then perhaps we'll not have stories of violences on the stadium and the auditoriums of schools and colleges. Perhaps then we'll have stories of what kind of courage, what kind of sensitivity, what kind of seriousness the youth have, and how this energy can be channelized in bringing the India to the world platform as the most empowered country with this youth, the immense potential. So that hats off to you, kudos to you, congratulations to you. The innovative ideas, I really want to congratulate all the teachers for those wonderful ideas and the kind of, because unfortunately what we see in most of the schools is that the teachers have limited themselves to only educating in terms of finishing the syllabus. And this is one step ahead, or rather I would say 5 steps ahead of just ensuring that the syllabuses are complete. This is true education. Being educated and being literate are two different things. Children, you are lucky that you are studying in Amity. Children, you are lucky that your parents have actually sent you to such a good school, wherein you are fortunate enough to be educated and not just literate. Think about those people, those children who are only getting literate, and think about those teachers which are not as good as your teachers are, who are ensuring that you become good human beings, who are ensuring you become better individuals. And trust me, you might not realize the importance of schooling that you're getting right now, but after you shape up into grown-up individuals, when you are settled in your life, whenever you look back, you will thank your school for what the school has done to you. This is how I feel about my school, how strongly I feel about my own school, because it is only these formative years which can actually bring about the change within you, around you, and you can actually change this country. Once again, congratulations to each one of you, and I really want to thank very humbly to the entire Amity family. And before I end, I want to really congratulate on one more initiative of yours, and that is Amitasha, which is again a wonderful project, wonderful initiative. You are bringing that change that we really want to see, NCW really wants to see with the society, when there is no need of National Commission for Women in this country. I wish that the day comes very soon. Thank you very much.
Countless rural women of the country still consider using sanitary napkin a luxury. This is perhaps why the team of AIS Gurgaon 43 took up the cause of sanitation and hygiene for women. Let's welcome on stage team leader Purvani Chopra and her team members Suhani Khera, Maitri Saxena and Rajat Gupta. Let's hear it for AIS Gurgaon 43.
हर नारी की यही पुकार,
स्वच्छ जीवन है उसका अधिकार।
हर नारी की यही पुकार,
स्वच्छ जीवन है उसका अधिकार।
Because suffering should not define you as a woman. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we, the Youth Bar team of AIS Gurgaon 43, stand here and deem it a privilege to put forth to you our endeavors, which made us instruments of positive change. For the past 7 months, we have been working on a cause, that is sanitation and hygiene for women. We are talking about a period which is an indispensable part of a woman's life, and every woman, we believe, has a right to a happy period.
Beginning with our rally for the cause, we initiated with creating a Facebook page. It has a sum of 780 likes till date. At the Dussehra Durgotsav of Sector 43 Gurgaon, we did a direct addressing to the public and set up a stall as well to our fundraiser. Next, we started with the Youth Car Week in the school, in lieu of which we divided the school in 3 groups, junior, middle and senior. Firstly, we sensitized the little ones about our topic through a play, so that their impressionable mind can understand the topic. We conducted a card making competition for the junior school, a dustbin making competition for the middle school, and an ad cum jingle making competition for the senior school. We conducted a meeting with our schoolmates along with our senior teacher. By the end, we decided our target site to be Saraswati Kunj. The best way of reaching out to people is through workshops, and so we conducted a number of them. The first one of them was addressed by a dietitian, a physician and a counselor. The other one was a question answer session to clear each and every doubt regarding menstruation. To ensure 100% involvement of all students, we conducted competitions on and off like the bulletin board contest, wallpaper making contest, poem recitation, storytelling and theatre performance. We organized a letter writing activity for class 9th and 10th which appealed for a washroom to be set up at Saraswati Kunj. The same groups were to take part in graffiti making competition. A medical checkup was also organized for appraising of importance of sanitation. On the junior annual day,
we showcased a dance drama based on that phase of a girl's life when she is forced to leave behind all the shades of life and kept isolated. A pamphlet making competition was organized to make 1,800 copies of the winning draft, along with a myth writing activity to sensitize the students about the same.
Before bringing about a tangible change, we conducted surveys to know what the people felt about the cause. We also conducted a survey for the maids to learn how well they looked after themselves during their periods. Womenathon, one of the most influential part of our endeavor, it was conducted on the 15th of December on the Ragiri Day. The marathon was followed by a live musical performance from Mr. Manthan Berry, a professional singer. He helped us gather a good crowd for the Nukkad Natak that followed. We made multiple visits to our target sites with various aims. During one such visit, we distributed sanitary napkins provided to us by Johnson & Johnson's to the women living there. Ms. Reena Bharti, an active member of Parivar Shakti NGO and ex-councillor of the Haryana state, hosted an orientation for these women. Any tangible change in the society cannot be brought about without the consent of the authorities, the advice of an expert, and a word from the sufferer. Huda Administrator and NCG Commissioner Mr. Praveen Kumar proved to be a strong pillar of support in our endeavour. We also interviewed Mrs. Anu Gupta, Senior Nutritionist in Apollo Hospitals, and a woman from our target site. Talking to Mrs. Kamla Devi, we were shocked to know the myths related to menstruation prevalent even in the 21st century. On the Winter Fest, we started off with a rally to sensitize public.
A tangible change. Manhole covering. On our initial site visit, we discovered an open manhole in our target area, which had been a cause of a number of accidents, some of them being very precarious. Many animals and children had fallen into this pit. It was a bin in the daylight and worked as a toilet at night. Hearing the woes of the people, we went to the authorities. When nothing came out of it, we covered it with our own hands. A sanitary napkin distribution system has been set up by the enforcement of the team in a society named Sujal Vihar in Gurgaon, Sector 43, on note of which the domestic health of the society is being provided free sanitary napkins by the residents of the society every month.
For fundraising, we picked up many activities, from selling handcrafted mugs priced at ₹20 each on the annual day to setting up a pottery stall on the winter carnival. But our most interesting fundraising activity was Kill the Evil. The Shera signifies the victory of good over evil. Our model of the game worked on the same principle. Adding on another idea-based model in which we suggest the significance of unity to bring about a change. When the dirty paper came down with the aids of ideas and a coin, it showcased unity at work. Community service, working with an NGO. We worked with an NGO named End Poverty. The assignment given to us was to sell handcrafted items made by rural women living in the Alwar district of Rajasthan. We went door to door to sell these items and were successful in achieving the given target of ₹19,000 in just 11 hours.
The panel discussion held at our school was a big success. The level of debate was very good and we covered a number of topics. The panelists included doctors, NGO workers, senior teachers and a school helper. This led to a heated debate and viable solutions to curb the problem. And as we come to an end to this life-changing competition, we would like to conclude by saying that this team did not just comprise of the four of us, but the whole youth is our team.
During this competition, we realized that change does not happen by itself. You have to be the change you want to see. There have been glorious moments while doing each and every task, and nothing made us happier than the smiles on the faces of the needy. Now, filled with nostalgia, we would like to thank Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir and Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan ma'am, our school faculty, and most importantly, all our school youth volunteers who helped us in any way ever. It wouldn't have been possible without you all. Thank you and have a nice day. Ladies and gentlemen, Amity Gurgaon 43 presents a shadow fusion on a self-composed song before you.
पुष्पा भाई पुष्पा, अरे तू फिर बाहर खेलने चली गई? अरे लाली जल्दी आ, स्कूल के लिए देर हो रही है।
नहीं, वो 4-5 दिन स्कूल नहीं जाएगी।
माँ मुझे भूख लगी है।
अरे रे, बाहर है रसोई घर से। अब हो गई है तू बड़ी, मेरी नजर रहेगी तुझ पर कड़ी।
हे भगवान, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? कोई तो बताओ। सुनो सुनो ओ मेरी बहना, मान लो मेरा तुम सब कहना, स्वच्छता से तुमको रहना ये तेरा अनमोल है कहना। महामारी नहीं है ये बीमारी, इससे गुजरती हर एक नारी। अगर कुछ बातों का रखोगे ध्यान तो जीवन बन जाएगा महान। साफ सफाई का रखो ध्यान, नित करना है सबको स्नान। कपड़े का नहीं कर उपयोग, रहेगी तुम्हारी काया निरोग। सैनिटरी नैपकिन का लो सहारा, जीवन बनेगा स्वच्छ तुम्हारा। अगर रहना है इन्फेक्शन से दूर, नैपकिन बदलना दिन में 2 बार जरूर। रंग कपड़े ना पहनो बहनों, मान लो मेरी बात। इन दिनों में करना आराम, दौड़ भागी को देना विराम। खान पान का भी रखो ध्यान, जो करे तुम्हें ऊर्जा प्रदान। ना समझो तुम इसको बदलो ये सोच। अरे लाली जल्दी आ, स्कूल के लिए देर हो रही है।
अरे आ रही है बेटा।
माँ मुझे भूख लगी है।
अरे रसोई घर में आ लाडो, क्या खाना है तुझे?
हर नारी की यही पुकार, स्वच्छ जीवन है उसका अधिकार। यदि रहेगी वह स्वच्छ तो स्वस्थ रहेगा उसका परिवार।
Many congratulations. Very well done and taking such a challenging topic. I have a very basic question. How did you go throughout this process that you have developed this theme so beautifully? How did you find the boys growing with you? How did you find interacting about it with the boys? And how do the boys feel about it? I'd like the boy to answer as well.
Ma'am, being a male citizen of India, I believe in the pledge that every Indian is my brother and sister. And every Indian suffering is my suffering. And if I can, I would do my best to solve their problems. And since these things are prevalent since the time of Adam and Eve, so I don't think there's any point to talk shyly about it. And I consider myself mature enough to talk about this topic openly. And I am free to talk about it. Anytime.
So, how comfortable you were working on this topic along with your girl classmates?
So every time we conducted an activity or we did any workshop and we have to talk to girls about it or the counseling of the boys, I took part in every activity. Each and everything which we discussed was open and there was nothing to hide. Like इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि ये मेरे को इसको नहीं पता।
No, how do you take it? It's a biological phenomena or it's a medical phenomena or it's a physical what? How do you look at it?
So this phenomena is mental as well as physical and it happens with every girl.
Sir, I didn't get the question.
I mean, you see this whole issue of menstruation and the period and how do you look at it? It's a medical problem, it's a physical, it's a biological issue or what? How do you look at it?
It's a natural phenomenon. Every woman faces it. Even my mother, my sister faces it. My friend faces it.
No, that's true with everyone. Anyway, okay.
Thank you very much.
Now before leaving, I would like to add on something. Youth Power has been giving us a lot. It has inculcated us with a lot of values. We've been getting this feeling of bringing about a change in each phase of our life. I'd like to add on a personal experience. I just went for a Taj Mahal trip 5 days back. When I saw that there were bottles, Bisleri bottles in the pool or the fountain area, it was really disheartening. This is the pride of our nation and the way the people, the Indians are spoiling it. Thank you, ma'am. So basically what I saw there, we took our time from the trip, we took half an hour out and we cleaned the entire area. It is because of Youth Park which I have got this inculcated in myself. It is because of you, Amita ma'am, your brainchild, your dream which we are living. I stand here saluting you. Respect, ma'am. So basically what we want to show is that only unity can bring about the change in a flawed woman whose life is colorless. We'll all stand together and turn the woman into colorful. Sure.
Thank you. Fear is no longer just a word. It has become a constant part of every woman's life. And what choice does the Indian woman have except to live in fear when a woman is raped every 34 minutes in the country? This is exactly why the youth party of Amity Noida took up the cause of safety for women. Let's welcome on stage Team Leader Khushi Badonia and the team members Isha Kalra, Sarthak Gulabri and Shimona Mohan. Amity Noida.
I believe we're having some sort of technical delay, and since I have an opportunity, I'm Khushi Badonia, the group leader of Virangana.
And I'm Isha Kalra.
And since we have a technical delay, we would just like to use this opportunity to say something that we initially wrote for one of our street plays, but we never really got the chance to perform it outside, and we would just like everybody to hear it. A part of it is in the presentation as well. ठीक है, देर आएंगे पर दुरुस्त आएंगे, फिर सुन लीजिए। वीरांगना वो ज्योति है जो बुझाए नहीं बुझती, वीरांगना वो चट्टान है जो गिराए नहीं गिरती,
वीरांगना वो सच है जो छुपाए नहीं छुपता, वीरांगना वो जोश है जो मिटाए नहीं मिटता।
पर बक्से में घुट रहे थे जो, वीरांगना उनके लिए अपनी आवाज उठाने का एक मौका है।
तब दब के जी रहे थे जो, वीरांगना उनके लिए आगे बढ़ने का एक न्योता है।
डर के पिंजरे में बंद चिड़िया को आजाद कराने आए हैं हम। लड़कों को वीर, लड़कियों को वीरांगना बनाने आए हैं हम। वीरांगना, one word, 10 letters and 4 hearts beating together to make a difference today. It's beautiful how destiny carves itself out. One moment we're talking about how it's our burning desire that we want Virangana to evolve, and on the second hand, youth power comes along. मेरी हाला को सबने अपनी हाला माना, मेरे प्याले को सबने अपना प्याला माना, मेरी साखी को सबने अपना प्यारा साखी देखा, पर जिसने मधुशाला को देखा उसने ही जहां को देखा, उसने ही जहां को देखा।
Virangana is a fire we want to ignite in everybody's heart. Be it a 5-year-old schoolboy, a 15-year-old teenage girl, or even a 50-year-old woman. Which is why we conducted a plethora of activities with the aim to make everybody aware about the cause.
We knew that our very first step had to be on ground, connecting to people, talking to them about their grievances and understanding what their safety concerns and apprehensions were. And hence, our very first big leap was talking to the Aam Aadmi in the marketplaces, in events, in residential societies, wherever it was possible.
Once we knew about the problem, it became extremely easy for us to conduct school activities and involve all age groups. We conducted Color You Supergirl activities for classes nursery and KG, stick pad activities and write-ups on mother for classes 3 and 4, and presentations for the senior classes. All in all, we touched 7,000 hearts. We impacted 7,000 people, each one in a different and unique manner.
Once these activities were happening, we realized the need to go out and make the world our stage, which is why we started doing the bigger activities like street plays, flash mob, creative communication. Once we started with our school activities, we realized the need to spread out and make the world our stage, which is when we started the activities that created most of the impact, like our street plays, our flash mobs, decorating boards, windows, so much so that we have hung bubbles on which self-defense tips and tricks have been written on trees, so that everybody can look at them and everybody knows how to protect themselves. We've used bottle stickers as mediums to propagate the cause forward. And during this process, we have impacted 12,000 people all over.
Not only that, but we have also made sure that our social presence in virtual media sources is also very active. We crossed 1,300 likes recently on Facebook and got tremendous response to our YouTube videos.
But our change would be incomplete if we hadn't received the blessings of the people that we look up to. Meeting Arnab Goswami, Sheila Dikshit, Shabana Admi, Chetan Bhagat, Shashi Tharoor, Vivek Oberoi, this was our dream come true, and this was the most overwhelming experience that we had ever had. But you know what touched us the most? It was the moment when Nirbhaya's mother hugged us. Blinking back her tears, she told us, God bless all of you, and it will be because of you that another Nirbhaya will not happen. But wait, that is not the biggest impact that we have created. The biggest awareness campaign that we have had has reached more than 1.2 billion people. That is more than India's population. Virangana has been broadcasted by leading national dailies like Dainik Jagran, online award-winning platforms like Youth Ki Awaaz, vernacular papers like E-Nadu in Tamil and Malayalam Manorama in Malayalam, which have led to such a big change.
Virangana has actually been broadcasted everywhere. But we believe that actions speak louder than words. And so, we wanted to bring a tangible change. A change that will remain, even if we may stop, even if Youth Power may stop. Well, Virangana is not going to stop, but even if Youth Power does, we wanted the change to remain. So the first activity that we took up was to make our own pepper sprays. It was made through an easy and simple technique which any woman can use to make her own pepper spray.
Our second activity was centered around community watchers. We got 100 community watchers registered all over Delhi. Do you know what that means? These community watchers are the ones that have the right and the authority to protect the women around their area, which means community watchers registered 100. Women saved and protected, uncountable. Moving on, our third activity revolved around making our own Virangana song. This song was prepared by the Virangana team and its volunteers, and it highlighted the need never to give up and fight till the end, and the song is also named I Will Fight.
Our final activity were the self-defense classes which we conducted in 4 locations. 3 residential sectors, 1 village and 1 office. These self-defense classes were given out by trained self-defense volunteers who have been recognized as black belt holders. And in addition to the 109 women we empowered with self-defense, we gave out free of cost surrounding classes in which we told the women how they can use their surroundings to protect themselves, be it a stick or lying on the ground, a pebble, or even your own rings or keys.
Empowering our Guru. बाहर को सेल्फ डिफेंस सिखाया, अंदर अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करी, पर गुरु को नहीं किया तो क्या किया? Which is why for our funding we sold the pepper sprays that we had made to our gurus, our teachers, at a very nominal price, and so that they were very cost effective as well as efficient in use.
Our 10 hours the NGO service, Social Corps, made us realize that this is what we want to do in our life, this is what we want to become. It gave us an insight into the kind of life that we want to lead and the kind of future that we want to lead India to.
Moreover, the panel discussion that we had in our school had the goosebump rays of the audience. Just hearing speakers like Prakalpa Sankar, the co-founder of Social Corp, Dr. Udita Tyagi, Miss India World 2011, Mrs. Shashi Kala, a journalist, Madhvi Shri Ma'am, Secretary of the Delhi Media Chapter, it was an enthralling experience for all the audience there.
Everybody out there literally had goosebumps listening to the intense conversations and the intense debate on what the responsibility of boys is and what the girls must do in order to ensure their own safety.
And I think the best part of the presentation comes down to that Virangana is not only limited to Amity. We have Ayushi Singhal and Tamanna Sharma who have formed their own mini Virangana team in 2 different schools. They have gone out to different schools, they have gone out to other schools to conduct workshops, and they have also conducted our survey, and I am glad to inform that our 3rd Virangana team, that is in Bangalore, which will be started by Yashaswini, is underway. And if that's not all, Vivek Oberoi during the HOW event has invited the Virangana team and its volunteers to come to Vrindavan and train and educate the girls in self-defense in his schools there. And the cherry on the top of the cake is that Anurag Singh Thakur, an MP from Himachal Pradesh, has offered his services to propagate the Virangana pepper spray first to a district level and then to a state level because he is so inspired by what we are doing. And this is exactly the reason why Virangana has been earning mention at TED IIM talks held at IIM Shillong. I would just like to end with, यहाँ हंगामा खड़ा करने नहीं आए हैं हम, यहाँ हंगामा खड़ा करने नहीं आए हैं हम, दिल में चाह भी जगाना चाहते हैं, आग मेरे दिल में ना सही आपके दिल में सही, पर आग तो जलाना ही चाहते हैं। Thank you.
सोचा है क्या मर्द तूने कभी कि अगर होती वो गलियां काली तुम्हारे लिए? देखा है क्या मर्द तूने कभी वो खौफनाक नजरें जो चीर दें बदन हमारे? सोचा नहीं तो आज सोच ले, देखा नहीं तो आज देख ले, होती क्या है इस जहां में एक लड़की होने की कीमत।
बहुत हो गया बस, बहुत हो गया बस, अब ना झुकूंगा मैं, अब ना भूलूंगा मैं इस लाल आग की पहली चिंगारी जो जलाई है मैंने, उससे सारा संसार उज्ज्वलित कर दूंगा मैं।
ये काली गलियां, ये अंधेरे चौबारे, ये खौफनाक नजरें जो चीर दे बदन हमारे। आज सूरजमुखी को मैं सूरज दिखाना चाहूं, आज नारी को शक्ति मैं दिलाना चाहूं, जिंदगी की राह पर चलकर मैं निडर वीरांगना खुद को मैं बनाना चाहूं।
Quick question. I'm just interested in how going into all these themes is having a lasting impact on your life. So, how many girls have learned self-defense as a result of this campaign in your school? How many of you?
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. As for our self-defense classes, we have trained 109, we have empowered 109 women with self-defense tips and techniques, which also included an environment class where they were taught how they could use their surroundings, as far as which also included around 30 to 35 underprivileged girls that were from Makkanpur village in Indrapura, apart from the normal residents. We had divided our self-defense classes into 3 groups. 1, the underprivileged, 2, the residents, and 3, the working women. We had tried to make the timings for each group as per the choice, but for the working women we actually went inside the MNC, Landis and Gare, to teach the women self-defense for 2 days for 1.5 hours each. So for that 3-day workshop, we taught them 6 self-defense tips and techniques, got them registered as community watchers because now they are empowered and now they can protect others as well.
How many of you are seriously learning Taekwondo?
I've done karate for 5 years.
I used to learn karate for like 6 years.
Great, that's what I want.
So, and ma'am, it's not even about learning karate and Taekwondo. Virangana has empowered each one of us to rise separately. You can take today's example, our PPT wasn't working, our Virangana instinct speaking, we know.
Point noted.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
one
you,
thing.
Team Noida.
I'm just one thing.
We're running out of time. Thank
We
you.
believe that Virangana is more than about standing up. I mean, it's more than self-defense. It's about standing up for themselves in all spheres.
And when one stands up, he or she can stand up for any cause they want. It doesn't have to be safety, it doesn't have to be self-defense. It relates to all spheres of life and it starts at one point, standing up.
I'll just say one line now. Virangana, since it started, we've just aimed, we believe that the women of this country are strong. There's certainly no doubt about that. It's just that we need to use appropriate means to break that shell that is restricting them from using their power. Otherwise, we all know how powerful the women are in this country. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Anthony Noida. Educate a woman and you educate just one person. Educate a man and you educate just one person. Educate a woman and you educate the entire nation. And yet, 2/3 of the 774 million illiterate people across the world are females. Team Amity Mayur Vihar took up the cause of education. Let's welcome on stage team leader Ishani Boomer and her team members Dhwani Chawla, Aarti Mesha and Anushka Vadra. Amity Mayur Vihar.
One girl, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Guests, judges, and my dear friends. Education is the lamp that lights up our lives with a glow that is everlasting, illuminating daughters, sisters, and mothers. Education is not just reading, writing, or literacy. Education is the only means of awareness, complete and total. Education is not just about academics. We believe that education is the best way of empowerment. If a girl is educated, everything follows suit, be it nutrition, employment, safety, etc. Education is the basis of everything. Thus, we started our project by identifying basic problems related to women education. The problems were as follows: denial of equal opportunities to women, lack of awareness in parents, co-education not always permitted, distance from house to school, and lack of documentation for school admissions. The next step was research on the project, which was started by visiting nearby bastis and NGOs to know the current situation. The next phase was spreading awareness, which included activities inside and outside school. The activities which were inside school were poster making and slogan writing, The other activities were Mehendi Pledge, which included senior classes as well as the class teachers, and the group symbol was adorned on the hands of teachers with henna, and all the teachers took a pledge to teach a girl child in their free time. To teach an underprivileged girl child in their free time. The next activity was the word hunt, which included clues with inverted text in order to prove the necessity of education. The other activities were attending Indra Jaisingh's conference at Teen Murti Bhavan on women's safety. The next was mass campaigning at AIMUN 2013. Book donation was done by junior classes of the school, and then the books were donated in the nearby bastis. The next was screening of documentaries and presenting speeches to sensitize the school children so that they teach the girls under their age. And the next was signature campaign and holding courses in the NGOs. Plus, the last but not the least were the field trips in the bastis.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. For the 10-hour NGO service that we had to give to the NGOs, we identified one NGO called Prabhav, where we gave about 1 or 2 hours almost every day for the next 10 days. In that NGO, there were girls who could not go to school, and teachers used to teach them maths, Hindi and other subjects. They were interested in learning English and IT skills. So we developed a course for them in which we taught them grammar, basics of computers, so that by the end of the course they could at least write a few English words and sentences. We also gave them different colored bands to wear according to their learning abilities and their level of progress. We had a panel discussion in our school in which Dr. Deepika Chatterjee, a sociology professor from Delhi University, Ms. Aparna Goyal, the founder of Prabhav NGO, Mr. Rahul Kapoor, who is here with us, the head of Amitasha. I would really like to thank you, sir. And our Honorable Principal Ma'am, Ms. Seem Gupta, were the panelists. Students from Amitasha like Radha Agarwal also shared their experiences with the audience, after which there was a question after the audience and the panelists. Our fun generation model was divided into 2 parts. The first one being very interesting, which can be done by almost everyone. All you have to do is to take one-sided used sheet and make a register by using the blank sides for your rough work. Not only does it save paper, but if done on a larger scale, it can generate a huge amount of money. We sold about 20 registers for 30 to 40 rupees, which gave us about 800 rupees. And you can imagine what each and every one of you can do if you sprout for papers at home and make a register and sell it. Our second model, very interesting, was a fabulous concert that we organized in our school with the support of our school band team, which also our beloved chairperson ma'am had attended, where Simple Truth and Socket Unplugged had some rock songs as well as songs dedicated to women. We got about 8,000 rupees from this concert, and also some books, stationery, and 6,000 rupees were donated to Amitasha. After this, we had the tangible result. Now there are many bastis and jhuggies around the areas of our school and the places that we live in. We decided to take some volunteers and friends from our school and visit these bastis. On our first field trip, what we found was a real eye-opener. We realized after visiting the bastis that the conditions that the people live in the bastis, and the parents, the different reasons the parents do not send their daughters to school. Some parents are simply not interested in making the basic essential documents like birth certificate for their daughters. They have it for their sons, but not for the daughters. Why? And something like birth certificate is so important to get a girl admitted in the school. And obviously some parents wanted their daughters to stay at home, do household chores, and help, earn a living for the family. And distance from the school to the houses and safety issues were also a big problem. So we decided to go convince these parents. As you can see, it took us 6 visits to go and convince these parents that to educate their daughters at least to middle or secondary level, because it's for their own good. And we are very thankful ma'am, that she has given us an opportunity, a platform like Youth Power, where we were able to bring about this change, convince so many parents, and get Shikha Jha, who's right in front of you, admitted into Amitasha at Amity Mayur Vihar, where she is presently studying. She's about 6 years old, and as you can see, she's studying at Amitasha Amity Mayur Vihar, where we got her admitted. And we believe that many other girls will be following her example, will be empowered and encouraged to study and get educated, which is their right. Because education is not just about reading or writing. As ma'am pointed out, there's a difference between literacy and education. Education is knowing what is right, what is wrong, taking your own decisions about your future. There can be no nutrition, no safety, no hygiene if there is no education. Because education helps you make what you are. In the end, I would just like to say, कौन कहता है कि रोशनी सिर्फ चिरागों से होती है? बेटियां भी घर में उजाला ला सकती हैं. Thank you.
And Shikha would also like to say something.
स्कूल जाना अच्छा लगता है.
Hello everybody, this is Amity Mayur Vihar, and we're gonna play slam poetry in front of you.
Oh, let me bloom, flourish and thrive.
My talent, hidden, dormant and sealed, give me the power, the strength, with education unveiled.
Oh, let me bloom, flourish and thrive.
Oh, let me bloom, flourish and thrive. The power of education should be for all, to help us rise and never to fall. Girls and boys are the two sides of a coin. God is our creator, he who made mighty life. He knew no prejudices and no bias. Then who are we to exhume the differences in life?
I am a man, a privileged one, the provider. I get everything at the twitch of a brow and the snap of a finger.
I am a girl, the sensitive and meek.
But mind you, I have strength and I am not weak.
I am compared to goddesses and deities.
Then why am I denied the pen's might and gaiety?
I am a girl, the neglected one.
How many barriers I have to overcome to win a run? Oh mother, oh father, am I not your other eye? The one that's meant to feel and not cry. Architects of the new world, I am your other hand. I'll raise phoenix from the ashes and have the strength to bear the lashes.
Run!
I will not. I will not. I will not.
Give up!
I will not, for I am the epitome of Shakti. I am not asking for a favor, neither am I claiming to be clever. I am just invoking the natural laws of land to leave my footprints in the sand. Equal opportunity and equal right is what I command to prove my might. Equipped with a book and pen, this lioness is ready to leave her den. Oh mother, am I not your mother earth, the one that you so approve? Am I not the mother India, the name that makes you rule? If the answer is yes, then embrace me with open arms. Accept me with my talents, strength and charm. Do not deny me the enlightenment of education. Prepare yourself, for here I come, the Encanic sensation.
Oh, struck by the realization I am ready to change, metamorphose into a new man. Come and let us join hands as one and consider the world conquered and done. I agree to do my bit and fulfill your dreams, following your progress like a stream. This is my vow, my promise, my pledge, the one that I shall today and always keep.
I want to especially commend your school. Yours was the one that stepped away the furthest from your comfort zone in actually going to a slum. And that is what my question is about. When you visited the slum, did you find a difference in the attitude of mothers and fathers towards sending the girl child to school? Was one parent more supportive, equally supportive? Can you describe that interaction, if you had an interaction of this kind?
Yes, ma'am. There were 6 visits, as we told you, that we made. The first one really shocked us when we saw it. Now, talking about parents, usually the father, whenever we used to go in daytime, during our school hours, the father was usually not at home. The mothers used to be there with their children who are not going to school. And the way I feel it, mothers were not really taking very much interest because they used to think, okay, this is the forte of the husband, I will call him in the evening, I will talk to him and then I will tell whether I want to do this or do that. So I would say that basically because the father or the male person at the home has the dominance in these families and in these areas, that's why mothers were a little, step back in taking decisions whether I want to send the child to school or not and how should I talk about this to some children who have come along, So I would say, although we think that mothers, encourage and fathers, male people are the ones who do not, make females weak. But in these areas, mothers take a step back and they say, okay, let the male person decide about the future of the child, whether we want to send our girl, our daughter to school or not. That's what we experienced.
The second most problem was that the documentation of girls' school admissions weren't complete. They didn't even have the birth certificates. So even if they wanted to get into school, they didn't have the proper...
I not so much, you explained that in your presentation. I really wanted to know what was your perception of the attitude. What's your...
I'm Dhwani.
Dhwani, marvelous. I hope you go on to study gender studies because you have stepped on a very researched upon area, which is the women themselves become symbols of patriarchal society. And it's not the men really who do it, but the women also get involved.
Thank you, Amity Mayur.
Thank you.
I'd now like to request our first jury member, Ms. Yamini Mubai, to join us on stage and address the August gathering.
I'm not going to make a speech. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm just going to say how impressed I've been. Many congratulations, all you children. One feels hopeful about the future after going through reports like yours and after going through presentations like yours. Just a few quick points about your project reports. I think that these points may be helpful later on when you go into higher education institutions and so on. One is you ideally ought to make a very clear connect between your topic and your presentation right at the beginning. So a brief vision or mission statement helps to guide the evaluator. Then it's impossible to select the best. Everyone is equally good. But I would say that the presentations which scored most of all are the ones where you feel that the team is deeply engaged, most deeply engaged with the topic. That level of engagement comes through in your presentations today as well as in your reports. So what we saw in the background material and what we saw today, I think it was very clear which teams had been most deeply engaged in their topic. And the last thing I'm going to say is, just keep this at the back of your mind, but I'm a student of development theory. And one of the things we study is, of course, gender and domination. Just think about it. Why did none of you think of making the women playing the man and the man playing the woman? That is certainly a complete changeover of the balance. In fact, you should try it sometime. So thank you very much. That's all I have to say, and congratulations again.
And I'd like to request our second jury member, Professor K.K. Verma, to share with us a few words.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon all of you, Madam Chauhan, the principals of various schools, my young friends. It's pleasure to be here and also gave me an opportunity to bunk my office for a day. I really enjoyed, I went through all the exercise done by the 80 schools. They were quite laborious, quite innovative, quite thoughtful, and I really congratulate the children for their efforts. Well, I'm a great believer in gender balance. My specialization is gender issues, reproductive and sexual health. Talking about the gender issues and the gender differentiation which we do at home, I think the starting point is individual itself, the home. And particularly, I would like to address my own folk, the men folk, whom I believe, despite being a man myself, that they are the starting point of this discriminatory behavior in all that. And it percolates down to the women of the household, then mother and all that. And that is the reason why a son is always preferred compared to the daughter. I can only tell one thing. I have only one child and that child is daughter. And I don't remember ever from my mouth, even subconsciously, I ever addressed her as Betty. It always came out Beta. Because for me, there was no difference between it. And I'm very proud of it. And if we talk of gender issues, if we don't arrest the skewed sex ratio, then as on date, 86 boys do not have a girl to marry in our country. 86 boys out of 1,000 boys. You calculate, you imagine after 30 years what would be the condition. Or are we going to be forced back to the history of those era, Draupadi's and all those eras? What is going to happen? We need to think about it. And I wonder if the person who is responsible for giving birth to the baby, how can he become a criminal, forcing the women or whatever it is to abort female fetus? It touches me, and I can only say to my men folk that it's a matter of pride. If our women are stronger, we are much stronger. There are two wheels in life cycle. If one wheel is weak, it cannot be driven. If half of India's population is weak, neglected, we cannot think of India being a superpower or a country like that, no matter whoever becomes the Prime Minister, irrespective of political shades, contours and color. So thank you very much. I am K.K. Verma. I work for an international charity, Children's International India, and recently I have released a book on diminishing daughters in India as a result of female feticide. The name of book is Life and Times of Unborn Kamala.
As we all know, Youth Park 2013-14 has been heralded as the year for women. But this celebration of womanhood will remain incomplete without expressing our gratitude towards the women who taught us all. I won't say much here because sometimes words too are not enough. Let's hear it one more time for the women. What you just saw was a glimpse of all the support that Chairperson Ma'am has given to the 8 YP teams throughout the year, whether it was participating in signature campaigns, offering guidance to the teams, or purchasing anything that the teams put for their fundraiser. She's truly been there for all of them. awards for the stages. The first award is the award for the best research strategy. And the winner is... It's Amity Vasundhara Sector 1. On stage, please. This award goes to the winners of the Stage 4 Rally to the Cause. Any guesses? And the winner of the Best Awareness Campaign is Amity Push Bihar. Thank you, Amity Push Bihar. The award for the best fun generation model for the state Charity Begins at Home. It's Gurgaon 43. Best fun generation model for the state Charity Begins at Home. I'd like to request the medical teacher and the school principal to join us on stage. Amity Gurgaon 43. The next award is for the best social implementation. Gurgaon 43, I guess you can stay back and receive your next award. Implementation goes to the winners of the stage, Be the Change, Making a Tangible Difference. Up next we have the award for the best panel discussion. Guesses anyone? slightly raising their hands up. Vasundhara Seth, it's you. Let's hear it for Auntie Vasundhara Seth. The award for the best awareness movie. Vasundhara Seth, can you cheer a little more loudly for your school? And last but not the least, we have the award for the best creative communication. Gurgaon 46! The YPT for Gurgaon 46, can I quickly have you on stage? Thank you. Alright, before we move on to giving away the final set of awards, it's time to appreciate and acknowledge the people who've made all this possible, that is our mentor teachers. Each school has been associated with a mentor teacher who's worked with the team through the cause. I'd like to call on stage Ms. Devjani Das from Amity Sakre, Richa Chandra, Nisha Akra from Amity Mayur Bihar, Minakshi Sharma from AIS Gurgaon 43, Devyani Kapoor from Gurgaon 46, Sanjukta Paul from AIS Vasundhara, Sampurna Satpathy from AIS Vasundhara, Corina Hathur from Amity Noida, let's hear it once more for the mentor teachers. As a token of appreciation and encouragement from Chairperson Ma'am, each mentor teacher gets a cash prize of Rs 2,500. Students, can we give these teachers a huge round of applause? And now the award for the best mentor teacher. The award goes to Richa Chandra. Best mentor teacher, Richa Chandra.
So very good afternoon, children. Very good afternoon. बोलिए जोर से good afternoon मैम. देखिए यहाँ पर इतना जोश, इतना उत्साह मैंने कभी नहीं देखा है. तो इसलिए मुझे लग रहा है कि मुझे कुछ बोलना ही चाहिए. मैम ये एडिटर वीरा मैम, अरे इतना जोश है यहाँ पर, अब मैं क्या बोलूँ यहाँ पर. तो पर मैं बताना चाहती हूँ, मैं आप सबको बताना चाहती हूँ कि मुझे बेहद खुशी हुई है. बहुत अच्छा लगा है कि आप लोगों ने, आपकी टीचर्स ने, आपके प्रिंसिपल ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है अंडर द सपोर्ट ऑफ वीरा शर्मा मैम. तो इनके लिए जोर से ताली बजाइए, जोर से. अरे आप सब ताली बजाइए. आपको बताया ना ताली बजाने के 3 फायदे होते हैं, तो बताइए. अभी आपके जो जजेस थे, they were highly qualified, highly successful people, even the chief guest. तो कह रहे थे कि जो प्रोग्राम आप लोगों ने दिया है, पढ़ाई तो सब लोग कराते हैं, पर ये प्रोजेक्ट फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच टू द फाइनल, कहते हैं आपका ये बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रोग्राम है जो एमिटी कर रहा है. तो आपको तो एक जज ने बोल के भी गई है, द चीफ गेस्ट, स्पेशल गेस्ट, कि जो व्हाट एमिटी इज डूइंग इज अ वंडरफुल थिंग. और मैं सारा श्रेय वीरा शर्मा मैम को देना चाहती हूँ, ग्लोबल टाइम्स, क्योंकि मेरे को हमेशा बड़ा रहता है कि मैं अपने बच्चों को बेस्ट ऑफ चीज दूँ. एकेडमिक तो आप कहीं पे भी जाके पढ़ सकते हो, कोचिंग क्लासेस हैं, एनीवेयर. और ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है, इट कैन हैपन ओनली इन द स्कूल. आर यू हियरिंग चिल्ड्रन? दिस कैन हैपन ओनली इन द एमिटी. वेरी गुड. ताली बजा रही जोर से. दिस कैन हैपन ओनली इन एमिटी. मैंने तो आपकी वीरा मैम को बताया कि मुझे ये प्रोजेक्ट कराना है. आई वॉन्ट टू स्टार्ट अ यूथ पावर प्रोग्राम और लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम फॉर माई एमिटियर्स. एंड देन शी क्रिएटेड, शी डेवलप्ड and she has given the final shape. आज देख के मुझे बहुत मजा आया. मुझे बोलने की हिम्मत नहीं, अभी भी नहीं मेरी बोलने की हिम्मत हो रही है कि मैं कैसे बोलूँ. मैं इतनी खुश हूँ. और मैं फिल्म बनाने के लिए आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना. और कहते हैं आपने जो मेरे ऊपर फिल्म बनाई है, आई डिडंट डिजर्व, पर आपने जो इतना सुंदर वो दिखाया, मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई. माई फुल लव एंड रिस्पेक्ट टू यू एंड टू ऑल माई चिल्ड्रन. अच्छा, मैं क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, आपको प्रोग्राम कैसे लगा? आप लोगों को कैसे लगा? हाथ खड़ा करके कैसे लगा? अच्छा लगा? तो आप लोगों ने वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट पे पूरा काम किया है, और हमने स्पेशली करा कि 1 साल पूरा बच्चा वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट पे काम करे. मैं बहुत सोचती हूँ अबाउट वुमेन, क्योंकि आई एम सेल्फ अ वुमेन and I am a happy woman. I have taken from my childhood to now. I have only seen good men, respectful men in my life. My father, my husband, my brother, and equally सब लोग. तो ये सारी प्रॉब्लम वुमेन की कहाँ से खड़ी होती है? आपका जो वुमेन इज फुल ऑफ एनर्जी, बड़ी शक्ति है वुमेन में. आपको कुछ भी कर सकती है. Anything the woman can do. If she can give a birth to the child, she can do anything in this life. तो ये वुमेन में कमजोरी कहाँ से आई है? ये केवल जो हमारी मदर्स हैं, क्योंकि मदर इज गिविंग अ बर्थ टू द चाइल्ड, और वही सारा शिक्षा देती है कि क्या वो कैसे लड़के के साथ बर्ताव करना है, कैसे लड़की के साथ करना है. जब इक्वल वो है, तो मदर इज टीचिंग इक्वालिटी, तो वहां के ये आपका डिसक्वालिटी, ये कहाँ जो वर्ड है वो कहां से आया? तो मैं कहती हूँ कि आपको जो भारतवर्ष में वुमेन इज अ देवी है ना, आप किसी भी डिक्शनरी में कहीं पर भी देख लीजिए, नोबडी कॉल्स द कंट्री अ मदरलैंड, ज्यादातर दे कॉल इट अ फादरलैंड, है ना. इंडिया इज द ओनली कंट्री कॉल्ड मदरलैंड. तो वी आर सो पावरफुल. तो हमें अपनी जो एनर्जी का, अपनी शक्ति का पूरा अच्छी तरह से डिग्निफाइड वे में उसको यूज करना चाहिए. वुमेन शुड नो हाउ टू रिस्पेक्ट हरसेल्फ एंड वुमेन शुड नो हाउ अदर्स रिस्पेक्ट. ये सबसे जरूरी बात है. हम हमेशा आदमियों को कवर करते रहते हैं, मैन इज डूइंग दिस, मैन इज डूइंग दिस, मैन इज डूइंग दैट. तो व्हाई नॉट वी थिंक व्हाट अ वुमन इज डूइंग? we should think, introspect ourselves, a question to ourselves, what as a woman, what can we do? तो इसी के साथ मैं क्वेश्चन आप लोगों को छोड़ना चाहती हूँ. All the girls should think about it. If they should have the self-respect. सबसे बड़ी बात है self-respect of a woman is very important. Nobody is going to teach you the self-respect. अपने आप ही करना है. ठीक है ना? Are you hearing? Self-respect, respect तो अपना ही करवाना है. कहते हैं abuse and all. तो if you don't respect ourselves, तो how the men can respect you? ठीक है ना? तो the girls should learn this. जब मैं देख रही हूँ हमारे तो वेदों में कहा गया है कि स्त्री वुमेन इज अ होम. आप लोग वेद पढ़े ना तो आपने बता ली कहा गया है कि वुमेन इज अ होम. तो फिर जिस देश में इतनी रिस्पेक्ट वुमेन को दी गई है तो व्हाई नाउ? तो मैं सब गर्ल्स एंड बॉयज रिस्पेक्ट ईच अदर. रिस्पेक्ट एंड टेक केयर ऑफ ईच अदर इज द ग्राउंड पॉइंट. Until unless you don't respect each other, तो ये सब ही चलेगा. So like my Amitians should know, my dear children, please, क्या सीखना है आप लोगों को? क्या सीखना है आप लोगों को? Any child, just answer. क्या सीखना है आप लोगों को? Respect each other. Respect each other. Then we have the happiness, we have the satisfaction and peace in life. ये सारा we are talking about peace नहीं है तो कहाँ से? If you don't respect, if you don't love each other, if you don't care for each other, तो कहाँ से? इसी के साथ मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ. मैं पूरी आपकी ग्लोबल चेंज की टीम जरा इधर आइए प्लीज. इधर आइए. आप जोर से ताली बजाइएगा इनके लिए. जोर से ताली बजाना शुरू कर दीजिए. ये जहाँ पर भी ग्लोबल चेंज की है लोग सब लोग आ जाए. Next year, what will be the topic? कहते we can talk. Why not for the boys? A topic for the boys. हाँ, environment तो करते रहते हैं लोग सब. हाँ, we work for the boys. सब लड़कियों के लिए करते हैं. Women, why not for the boys? है ना? कोई भी बताएगा any topic for the boys, उसको इनाम दिया जाएगा. What will be our topic? आपकी बात तो हमारा youth power और women empowerment पे we do now. I think the boys also require the boys empowerment, है ना? तो we do on the boys. हाँ, and कहते हैं वीरा मैम she will think of the topic what it will be. Thank you so much. And Amity Global School should also participate next year. Yes, I was missing the Amity Global team. Yes. Thank you so much. And teacher for Amity, hip hip, hip hip, hip hip, hip hip. ये आप hip hip, hip hip. अच्छा मैं आपको एक और बताऊं छोटी सी बात. अभी जो 43 सेक्टर की जो है जो बता रही थी कि I don't know what's her name. क्या नाम है? सुहानी वो चले कि आगरा ट्रिप में गए ना तो वहाँ पर बहुत सारी बॉटल्स पड़ी थी तो हमने वहाँ पे सारी सफाई की. तो वहाँ के जो केयर टेकर था वो पूछ रहे थे आप किस स्कूल से हो? पूरा देखिए यू आर द एम्बेसडर ऑफ एमिटी. यू आर द एम्बेसडर ऑफ.
So when I went there and we were cleaning that area, I was asked that from which school do you come from? And I was standing there proudly and telling Amity International School. And they were saying that the person who's running the school and the person who's inculcating such values plays a big role in bringing about a change in the country. So I salute each one of the teachers over here, especially Amita.
All of them. So my dear children, that means you are the ambassador of Amity. आप जैसा भी करेंगे Amity वैसा ही कहलाया जाएगा. तो आप लोग क्या कहलाना चाहते हैं Amity को? Amity is the? Amity is the? Amity is the? और मैं सभी को धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ जिस चाहे पेरेंट्स हो चाहे टीचर्स हो anybody who has supported my children. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much ma'am for your inspiring words. And all this would not have been possible without you. This is youth power of women and the inspiration behind this has been you, ma'am. So let's do a 3 cheers for ma'am. 3 cheers for ma'am. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Thank you, ma'am.